I'm Will Forge, and today we will forge. So, fortunately, I was dumb in the Forge Hub contest. We have a whole nother month, and that's wonderful. So, there's also, though, this going on. It's called Lunch Break with 343. So, they're going to do... It's a stage. Basically, they're going to be doing a big talk today about the future plans, especially for Forge. The Forge Lord is going to be in here. So I'm probably going to start doing that in the middle of the stream. They'll probably... Oh, my microphone's all the way over here. I hope you could hear everything I was saying and that it wasn't too muted. But, yeah. Okay, so... What's up? How's it going, Regret? Let me pull up the proper chat so I can see you for normally. There we go. Live chat. There we go. That's better. That's better. I was in the OBS. I don't like the OBS chat. But anyway, so, because even though YouTube lies to me all the time about, like, you know, how many viewers earn and stuff like that with chat, it's still better to have at least an idea. OBS doesn't give you anything, so. Anyway. So, yeah, there's gonna be a thing. It's in the main Halo Discord stage, Lunch Break with 343 right here. And it's going to be a big Forge announcement thing. And there might be other updates as well. Where am I from? I was born and raised in Louisiana. So, I've always lived here. But I've traveled around a lot. But other than that, yeah. Okay, so many things want to be upgraded now that we have time. You know? And in particular... I feel like this building wants to be upgraded because it's such a massive set piece. When people look up at that thing, I don't want it to just look, you know, somewhat strange. You know what I mean? Oh, nice. Yeah. And it's nice and green here, you know? Very, very, like, easy to just grow things. But yeah. So, if you guys want to hop into this other Discord, or, like, get ready to, it's going to be probably a big announcement thing. Man, these can finally be upgraded and finished. We have so much time now. I feel like... Ugh. The one downside is it's making me feel slow, like I'm slowing down. Okay, so what I did yesterday at the end, was I lined this stuff up. Right here. You should make it an elevator tower that's like a space skyscraper. That would be pretty cool. And then it comes up and it goes this way, and I hadn't put in the last piece here. Or replace the wall with the adjusted wall that I had, let's see, we're gonna need this over there so we can delete that middle block. And, yeah. Yeah, it'll just snap down there. I don't need to worry about that. I was about to be like, wait, I was going to snap that into that. Oh, maybe I do need to worry about it wanting to not snap in the right place. Oh, wait. Did I do the right one last? The correct one? Nope. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to undo that deletion. And I'm going to put it inside of that. If it'll let me. What? Of course. You know what else I found out solves a lot of these snapping problems? If you bring it over near where you want it to be, and you duplicate it again, it sometimes makes it... Yeah, see, look at that. That, for some reason, solves the problem sometimes. It's like the server still thinks it's over there or something. Like, it's like maybe I let it go too fast whenever I dragged it over here. But yeah. So make it an elevator tower. It's like a space skyscraper. That would be really cool. Like, basically one that, like, just goes all the way up, as far as we can see. It would definitely, like, basically, almost like what this was supposed to look like. The idea here, by the way, is that these are, like, roadways that loop out and around from building to building around it, around that asteroid. So, let's see. You know what I want? I kind of want fog. Because I was thinking that this would be like in the middle of a nebula. But I want to figure out how to do fog in a good way, because there's like, you could do fog that's down low and fog that's up high. but we're in space, and the fog would be pretty much everywhere, but it'd be in a weird, probably like a loop around the asteroid, so I don't know. I would like to do fog. But yeah, we did a little bit of stuff yesterday, but mostly we just discovered about the Forge Hub thing. And I'm really excited about this, by the way, because it's going to be, it said, I think, 11 o'clock PST. So it might be like, what is that, 2 hours away? So, you know. Cinco de Mayo, okay. Make it seem like the space station is part of a larger world. Yeah. Or make a really cool space ring, like Elysium movie. That would be cool. Yeah. I definitely want more than just this thing. That's a really basic space station there. I was also thinking, as I was making these rocks out here, I happened to make like this like road here, and I was like, as I was doing it, I was like, you know, it'd be really, really cool. Like Ripshade once, sink in the mayonnaise. I actually pronounced that weird. I pronounced it mayonnaise. And it's because AY is a French French phonogram for I, and so whenever you say, you know, it's not called a bayou, it's called a bayou, even though it's BAY, you know. And so for me, it's weird, but I always call it mayonnaise. And I was told by people that that was the correct French way to do it, and I live in Louisiana, so we have the whole French thing going on. Then I've looked it up since then online, and I'm not so certain it is. I don't know for sure. So I don't know what's going on. It might be just the Cajun way of pronouncing it. I have no idea. But there are even people around town, of course, that are just like, what are you talking about? So, like, it's like, you know, it's not, it's just, it might be just like a small community here in Louisiana that pronounces it weirdly like that. But anyway, so Ripshade wants a bridge. Let's see, let me see if I can pull up his chat. I'm going to come back to this Halo thing, because I really don't want to miss it. But, let's see, clear that. Ripshade was sending me in a DM an image of which I need to add to my, okay, this one needs to be added. I need that one in my list of inspirations. Where is it? This is my tab. I've got a tabs off screen that are list of inspirational, there was a, what is it called? That word. He also sent me all these after I sent him the gate that I was using. Or maybe it was whenever I described to him the gate, and I'd gone and looked it up. I don't know. Wait, here is the gate. Okay, yeah. I sent him this, and this was the inspiration for the gate itself. And I added embellishments like the cannons, and the, I made the door open sideways and the one going down. Why is my chat gone? Up here. There we go. And then, he sent this. That's right. He wanted a bridge akin to this, right here. That he was on the outside in the big team battle section. So I'm going to put that over there before it ends up getting... You can see it's already buried in chat, so if I hadn't known that... If I hadn't remembered that it was up here, it would have been very difficult to find later on. Okay. So I'll put that back over there. We're going to switch back to the Halo one. Put that back over there. There we go. And then the stream. Why does it keep doing that? Every single... For some reason, it keeps on moving away from my, my stream chat up there. I'm not clicking anything up there, it's just doing it. I'm not sure what button I was pressing that's causing it. But anyway, so what I was thinking is that this road could theoretically go to like a bridge that's under construction with a crane. Like, some cool stuff. And that would actually be where, let's see, hold on. That would be where this inspiration came in. Where the idea is it's on a rail that moves along the perimeter of the, of water, and it allows it to hoist crates and stuff like that up out of there, and then you can put it onto the mainland because it can go along the cables all the way over to here, right? So the idea was that I was thinking is if we do something like that where we've got a sort of crane going on over here, right? But we build it to where it looks like more like that thing, and then we make it to where it can travel along the side of the road of the basically like an intersection or interstate, you know what I mean? Here, I'll just go to UNSC roads real quick. And this would all be backdrop out that window, because there's a window right there. So this would be something that would actually apply to the 4v4, so that's why I'm looking into it. We could theoretically actually use this underneath it as a good support system, that if you died and fell and looked up, you would see all that pipe at work. Or we could theoretically use this in the walls of it, you know? Do you have your in-game sharpness upscaling on? I do not know. Is that a setting in video? In-game... because that noise when moving objects is horrendous. Oh yeah, no, that is pretty bad. Mostly, yeah, I don't know, let me see. Where's in-game sharpness upscaling? Where's that one located? Oop, that's not it. Let's see, graphics, quality preset, custom, texture quality. Remember, I had to bring it down because the big desert map was starting to lag. Async compute, is that it? Get set whether to execute compute work in parallel with graphics work on GPUs that support it. Okay. Don't know what that is. It didn't seem to increase my VRAM usage or anything like that. Speed lines, blur. What is set the amount of radial blur applied? This distortion appears during explosions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got all this just left to sharpening. Set the crispness of edges and texture details. Lowered sharpness results in a more blended image, while higher sharpness produces a more pronounced image. Which one is it? Is it this thing, or is it somewhere else? Dynamic wind. Because I do not mind turning this up as long as it doesn't like cause the game to start lagging. Is it just anti-aliasing? Okay, then it'll be your monitor's upscaling. Ah. Yeah. It probably is something to do with my monitor. Let's see. Unfortunately, that might be the case. Let's see. Yep. I need better monitor and better graphics card and all that. That'll be really nice. So what I was thinking was, if we did something like this, you'd be able to see the pipes and stuff like that running through it as it goes across, which would be something that they would probably have between them, cables and pipes and stuff like that to connect power lines and stuff to that effect. But the point is, UNSC Road, which is near the bottom, UNSC Road. So just to give an idea, is that I was thinking like this is kind of just a one lane. So I guess we would probably want it to be 2-lane, and it probably would end up being thinner like we did the other ones where we made them much thinner. But basically something to this effect. I'm just gonna make the one for now because it's just an example of what I was thinking. So something to this effect. The sort of roadway coming out of that sort of path. Like they're trying to build a connection to another thing. We might link them together with more of them to make it rounder. We might not use the road at all because we might want it to and just make it look like a road. Because of all of the limitations of this road just being literally this road, is kind of tough. But basically, something like this. Because what I was thinking was, basically, I just want you to be able to see it from here. I want you to see the under construction. You can't really see it from here, so maybe we'll want it to curve up, and as it curves up, make it point out toward like another asteroid over there, is what I was thinking. Let's see. How finished Hellblade earlier. Oh, I saw your tweet about that. Yeah. I checked tweets right before I got on here because I had made a tweet. I was asking people what their colors, you saw it, the colors, the outline colors that people pick, because I want to be able to make my maps, accommodate and or, work well with the most common colors people choose. And it seems like it's very split between yellow enemies and various colors of allies versus traditional, like classic red versus blue, partially because of the settings resetting all the time. But yeah, how do you fix that noise when moving objects? That's what I was wondering. Apparently, it's a monitor upscaling problem. That it's my monitor being bad. I could switch it to my other monitor. I don't know if it's any better, but I think it is. Let me make sure that I've got that Discord thing on. Yeah, I do. Okay. Ooh, don't want to minimize it because then it won't start playing. Okay, so if I switch to my other widescreen monitor, let's see if that does anything. Acer. So over here, let's see. It's AMD FSR. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is arguably worse. That might just be because of the object I chose, though. Is that worse on this monitor? This is my newer monitor, but it was also a very cheap one. The other one was also fairly inexpensive, but it was on sale at the time, so it probably was actually a better quality monitor. And they were both around the same price, but a difference of like almost 11 years. Oh, like probably 9 years or something like that between when I bought one. Oh, you can't see, right? It's on the wrong, because it's on the wrong monitor. Duh. I do have image scaling off in the control panel. Let me switch to the other monitor then. Let me. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Turn. That's the other one. Where's the big one? Gosh, I need to sort all this out. There it is. I just turned that one off so that this one stays on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this one is like, it's like dragging like that, and I think that's worse. Because I honestly got so used to it that I don't even see the other one, but now I'm seeing it on this one. I definitely see it. It's very jittery. Like I didn't even notice it before. Which is ridiculous. Got anti-aliasing on? I do. That's the weird thing. VSync. Anti-aliasing is set to high. Texture filtering, ambient occlusion, texture quality, geometry quality, reflections, depth of field, shadow lighting, volumetric fog, cloud quality, dynamic wind, effects quality, decal quality, animation, terrain, simulation, flocking, async compute. I just turned that on. I don't know. Ray traced sun shadows off because my mind does not support that. Sharpening, exposure. Yeah. I don't know. That's one of those things where, like, I am not a master of setting these things up. So if I switch back to this one, and I turn back on this display capture, yes, I believe that's the right one. And then I select, did I just move that? No, I didn't. Okay, oh. Let's see. Maybe it's about the same. It seemed like it was different. It might be pretty much the same. I thought it was a little bit better, but I guess not. So anyway, now if you look out over there, you can see the gate, and you can see the solar panels, or not solar panels, the, yeah. I did see you have AMD FSR low latency. I need to switch back to the other chat. Again, let's see. FSR low latency enabled on your monitor when you loaded up yesterday. FSR low latency enabled. What is that, and how do I change that? Okay. AMD FSR and low latency enabled on your monitor. I don't know how to turn that off. Is that like a monitor setting that, like, I use the buttons on the bottom of the monitor to actually alter? Or is that something I go into my computer settings and change? It's in your monitor's settings from AMD specific things. Or for AMD specific things. Okay. Is that buttons? Or is it all, like, it's monitor settings I get now, but I just don't know if it's if I go into that in my buttons or if I go into that anywhere else. Whew. Basically, we've gotten the map to where some of the areas feel like Halo Infinite and some of the areas feel like Halo 5. Because of the fact that I haven't detailed them out. So, because blockouts in Halo Infinite look like finished maps in Halo 5. Let's see, the buttons. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to show up on stream if I press these buttons. I also don't remember what any of them do. Okay, does that show up on screen? Because if it does, that would be ideal, because then you'd be able to see it. Okay. And you could tell me if I've got something dumb. I don't, like, ever adjust these things. Let's see. Auto, color, temp, warm, clock. Okay. Settings, wide mode full, DDC, CI, ACM off, input, HDMI 1, language, English, reset. Whoop. Yeah, no, I don't think you can see it. Horizontal is 67 kilohertz, vertical is 60. I don't know what I'm looking for, to be honest. I'd probably need to look this up, or we'd have to talk about it for probably a while before I'd understand what I'm even looking at. Focus, clock, V position. Yeah. And I don't know if you feel like doing that. Whoop. Yeah, color, temp, warm, user. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted either. Warm. There we go. We'll go back to what it was. Anyway, yeah, this is weird. You guys can't see what I'm doing anyway, so not very interesting stuff. I'm sure. We will fix that eventually. Maybe I'll talk to you off stream about it, because that seems like it would be much easier. Oh no, I somehow turned on... No, we don't want that. I think I somehow turned on the energy saver version. So whatever that's gonna do. Oh, we don't want that. So I had to turn it off. Okay, anyway. I'll probably talk to you off stream, Aaron, about that. This got messed up. Don't know how. Actually, I did know that that was messed up because... Even though I didn't know how it got messed up, it was because I whenever I went to duplicate it to make this one, it always got jacked up. But whenever I duplicated the original, it never got messed up. So I knew that something had gone wrong with this one in particular, but it looked right before. Okay. So anyway, now I'm trying to wonder what I'm going to do. I've got that thing. You know how... Okay. So one of the things that ADHD has, that's one of the symptoms that makes me think I have it, is that whenever there's something that's going to happen for the day, right, you get locked into, that's eventually going to be the thing I have to do today. And so you no longer can think about anything else. It's a hyper-focus where you're focusing on something that isn't even occurring. And I've got this stream that they're going to do the event for talking about Forge Hub in the back of my head. So I need to open up a different like window to like bury it and see if I can get over it by doing that. So I can actually think about what I need to forge next. But we were talking about this one. Me and Ripshade. Me and Ripshade were talking about this, and he was talking about the idea of having like glass involved here so that we can see like what's underneath it. And as soon as he said that, I don't know if we're 100% on the same page here, but what I was thinking as soon as he said that was, you know, the railing at like... Okay, you know what? I'll just do this. I'll just sort of make a mock-up of it. Because I think it'd be easier than finding something. I can't think of a specific place that does it the way I'm imagining it. So let's go here and go to, I think it's in City Props. Where's the one that we have? That rail. Well, we have some over here. Okay. He said railing. I immediately thought of the way he did this glass that I went and propagated out into the rest of the thing. And these in particular are really cool with this glass in it. And I was thinking that if we literally just grab this, here's a good little mock-up of it. And then we have the railing Either this railing could be on top of these some concrete blocks akin to these that are already here, right? Or they could just be in place of the concrete blocks. But the idea is that so that you can see down as like later on as warthogs are driving along there, you'll be able to see them without having to hop up onto the ledge. You know what I mean? But then also you have a sort of like advantage, like a sort of crenellation thing that you can look up at. So basically we would be, I guess in a way we could probably just lower this and then put these on top of it so that you could see over, and or maybe make it thinner. But like basically if we did shop reset in 3 minutes. Wait, what? Oh, for the daily shop thing? I was gonna say it's not Tuesday. Why is there a shop reset? But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about now. Positions at 7:45. If we go down to 7.40, that's way too low. Oh, not 7.420. Just 740. Ugh. Daily and midweek shop. Yeah, that's right. So like something akin to this, you know, where you can kind of see through it, and then you could hop up on top of it. And it would basically accomplish the exact same thing that it did before, but it would do it in a much cooler way. They need to cancel the shop, fix the game. I'd rather play the game than worry about what items are in the shop. Yeah. I could get behind. I can see that. They won't, because they have to use a shop to fund the game, but yeah. Let's see. Netcode is horrible in the game. Why 90% of pros live next to a data center in Texas? They're just like moving to the data center to get better network connection to it, because that's pretty hilarious. Let's see, so we would put some thick enough glass to make this a little easier to orient on top of the rails. Yes, running fiber. That is kind of ridiculous. I guess they're used to traveling for tournaments anyway, so I guess they're kind of... That doesn't seem as ridiculous of a move to them, I guess. Seems like a ridiculous move to me. They get like 8 to 10 milliseconds in a game. Nice. I get 30 usually, and then it spikes sometimes. But I do live really close to Texas, so being in Louisiana, I live close to Texas. Okay, so something like this, but not this exactly. What do you guys think about that idea? We could theoretically, like, I would like to get an official original scaled one, so I don't, because these have been rescaled to work over in that other spot, and it makes it look a little bit wonky. I'm trying to remember where these are. Are they in cover? They are not. Let's see, they're not in fences, I don't think, and they're, unless I'm wrong. And they're not in railings, because these are all these railings. Store sucks. They got like, oh, gotcha. Store sucks. What was a store? Is it something that looks cool, but it's kind of like not worth what they're charging? Or is it something like, just bad? Let's see. It's gotta be, is it in UNSC? What is it called? So I can just go looking for it. Angled wire fence. Angled wire fence. It's right there. I went right past it. Also, he's got it with the, right now he's using the multiplayer version, like variant, which I didn't notice he was doing before. That means we can't retexture it, but I guess we didn't want to before, so we liked the gray and the glass before. But basically that was just preventing us from, retexturing at the moment. What am I looking for? I was looking for this. Okay, so I believe that the idea for these blocks on the edge is that they're supposed to be like this. This is the intention, I believe. Which I kind of agree with. It'd be cool to have them there, like that. And to have like a glass that you can see through. It might need, like I was saying before, we might thin this out a bit because it's pretty chunky thick, you know what I mean? But basically, with that being angled outward, it effectively makes the railing as tall as it was before for anyone out there, but anyone inside can see out through it. And if it's this tinted glass, we might be able to make it to where when people are looking up, they can't really see through it all that well, unless there's like an outline of a player. And then that would be, you know, pretty good. We're going to reset the rotation on this and then figure it out. It's the way we're going to do it. Because that was just the rotation we were using for the glass over there. World. I don't know if this is what Ripshade had in mind, though, because whenever he was describing it, I wasn't quite fully understanding, and so I need to I need him to see it so that I can find out what he was thinking. Because this is as soon as he said it, this is what he inspired in my head. With his description. So, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh no, I forgot you can't undo. Keep on forgetting that you can't undo scaling. That's one of the things I need to mention on that thread. Someone's doing, Rebs Gaming, I think it was, is doing a video about all the bugs that are happening in Forge right now, and the ones that are most impacting people. I guess he's trying to help 343 see exactly what people are having are being annoyed about. But basically, let's see, let's get this width. So if you guys have any particular bugs you want to discuss, he's got that going on. He's got Twitter where he is asking people for their information on that and see if they, you know, so he can, like I said, put it into his video. I think that'll be really helpful. And I look forward to seeing what 343 says about it. I don't know if this is going to work on the slope. So we might do something different for the slope, like a solid wall, and then have glass again down here. You know what I mean? But I'm also trying to, like, I don't know what if this is, like I said, I don't know if you know, Ripshade was thinking this or something a little different. But this will definitely tell you, you know, don't go out there too much. And actually, if we leave this doing this right at the edge, obviously I can adjust it so it doesn't do that, if that seems dumb. But if we leave it doing this, then it means that people are going to go, oh, shoot, and back up during the 4v4. So that might actually be a good idea. It might work. Okay, so if I do this, what I'm trying to do is see what it'll look like if I snap. Nope. I had it right the first time, apparently. There we go. So that would go there, and then I can put something solid there because there's rock anyway. Okay, what you doing? Hey, Ripshade, how's it going? Okay, so I'm gonna run this by you really quick, but let's see. As Wilco put this up, May update preview. Yes, mode updates. Super Fiesta, ranked king of the hill. Sandbox balance tuning. Disruptor. Oh, spike grenades tuning. Dynamo grenades tuning. Shroud screen tuning. Forge. The May update will bring a nice quality of life update to Forge in the form of PC screenshot uploading and numerous bug fixes. This includes, let me put this on the screen so you guys can actually see it. Let me do it this way so that I can still see chat a little better. Okay. This includes improvements to the Z-Fighting movement controls, Forge monitor, movement speed, and more. To improve the stability of script-heavy creations, individual script brains will be updated to have a 128-node cap. Fear not, though, existing creations above that limit will still work. They will just not be able to add any additional nodes. You'll also still be able to place multiple script brains to make sure you still have access to the full power of Halo Infinite scripting system. FPS counter on Xbox. Okay. UX, UI. In this update, we're also excited to be rolling out a few highly requested improvements to our menus. Ooh. Notably, we'll be making the Customs browser accessible from the Custom Game option. Right on the main menu, when clicking it, you'll be able to choose between checking out what the Customs browser has to offer and starting up your own custom game. The matchmaking menu will also receive an update, which will allow twice as many playlists to be visible at once, from 5 playlists to 10 before needing to scroll down.
though this change means the playlist images will be moved into each specific playlist details. Presenting more playlist variety up front is worth it to the players. Last but certainly not least, a selection of bundles from previous seasons will be able to be purchased through the customization menu. When checking out an item that was part of an eligible bundle, players will now be presented with an option to view and purchase that bundle from the shop. Please note, previous season HCS bundles and current season bundles are not currently available for purchase. Nice. Resolved issues. Okay. Various server and client stability improvements, reduced server and in-game crashes, various threat / observer improvements and bug fixes. Halo Infinite will no longer crash on launch when attempting to play on a PC that is below the minimum spec. Players can once again choose to continue past this warning message. Blah, blah, blah. Addressed an issue causing wasp gun jamming when playing with the bumper jumper controller scheme. I didn't even know that was a thing. Cutscenes should no longer replay when relaunching the game. Nice, Aaron. There you go. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, that's all we've got. That's how people say about that sort of thing anyway. That's all we've got for the preview. But remember, a full version of the patch notes with additional details. Yes, and they're going to be doing their sight unseen trailer. They're going to be doing that thing that's in the other, that's in the Discord. And of course I skipped a bunch, so you're going to want to probably still read that article and read the more details up top. But yeah, the wasp thing is definitely a thing because I played Bumper Jumper and it happens all the time. Did they fix settings resetting? They didn't mention fixing the settings resetting, but they did mention fixing the fact that you, if not, I'm not playing still. Well, yeah, I don't know if they fixed the settings resetting, but they're fixing the, they're definitely fixing the, what do you call it? The stupid menu, or like the videos playing every single time you try and boot up the game. So yeah. Okay, so Ripshade, what I was going to ask you was, you were talking about glass. Whenever you initially said the angled glass, I thought you meant something like this, or rather replacing this entirely with an angled glass setup or something to that effect. But if that is not what you're talking about, because after a while as you were talking about it, I started thinking maybe you meant something with the floor here or something like that, but I wasn't certain. And I thought I'd also, where's your music? Where is my music? Oh man, can't believe it. Let's just start up a new soundtrack, a new music, while we instead of starting from the very end of what we were listening to yesterday. Oh, that explains so much. It feels so much better now that the music is going. Okay, anyway. So Ripshade, is this more in the line of what you were talking about the glass? Or did you want something... This is just a mock-up, by the way. This is not like a... Try clearing your Steam cache. Never had that problem. Been playing since day one. I was talking about have angled windows kind of towards the base of the railings, and then an actual railing above it. Okay. So like glass down here, and then a solid railing above that, like Oop. Oh, come on. Why is it? Okay, world. There we go. I thought I pressed that button, but it didn't want to do it. Something akin to like this, but with this stuff like above that. This is totally a terrible way of doing this, but yeah, something like this is what you're thinking. Yeah, the glass outline with concrete in a cool way. Yeah. Okay. And basically we can, and I can do the reinforced railing thing inside of that with these lines. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It probably would be better than to do this anyway. I was mainly thinking of, I was doing this thinking like, you know, as people drive by, you might want to attack them or whatever, but honestly it's not, you know, it doesn't really make any sense. So I'm gonna want this probably below that point, because we don't want it to, you know, see, you know, we don't want to clip into the rock. But yeah, so we're gonna want to go down, but low enough that we can see down that way. So like this needs to be like here probably, and that works out pretty well. And then the glass, with the glass outline with concrete in a cool way, kind of like that Halo 3 map that is a space base with tons of hallways. Oh, let me see that one. I think I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but yeah, Halo 3 maps. Oh, let me not just sit there and pause. I don't know, something. it looks nice, it's a little easier. A little easier to look at. Let's see, instead of just a pause menu the whole time, I'm trying to go through here. Epitaph, let's see, Guardian, High Ground, Search Strategy Wiki. Interesting. Isolation Snowbound, The Pit. Foundry. Orbital is what you're talking about. But this is a terrible website for this. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see. I can't think of the name either. I think it's Orbital, which appears to be this one. Let's pull this over here. We got Orbital. Let's see if we can get any pictures of that. Hopefully they have, coincidentally, pictures of that, of some of those windows at least in the background somewhere. The surface through the windows. This is looking through one of those windows, I believe. Or one of the big flat ones. But yeah. Yes, Orbital. Okay. Gosh, that was such a cool addition to this map. Man. If they ever have, like, frigates as items you can place, which they won't, but if they ever do, you could flatten them. Like, if you had them in corpses and they had, like, a destroyed frigate or something like that, that you could just, like, flatten and put inside the wall and look like it's part of this. Part of a mural like this. It would be amazing. Let's see. Oh, this hallway? Is that what you're thinking of? Or are you thinking of a window that goes out into space? That would be cool. Kind of glad they added bundles to the customization screen, because now people can buy whatever they want. Yeah. Yeah, so this piece, yeah. So, yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, do you want me to wrap it up and around like that and everything? Because I could do that. In fact, if you wanted me to go all the way, I could even put an airlock right here. Because I was thinking, okay, if this is for personnel, right? And we have an airlock here to lock this up, and we're going to put like a shutter door looking airlock here that closes this up, right? Or maybe an airlock that closes in through the sides, something like that, some tall, thin one, right? Then this room is going to have an airlock right here, right? Or it has one, but we might adjust this door to look more like an airlock, because we've got enough thickness to play with that we can actually put some some actual like door pieces in here to make it look like akin to these. You know what I mean? I don't have to copy and paste this one over there yet again. I can use those in some places, but like if we could do something like that over here, and then we could theoretically do that here, or maybe down at the bottom of the stairs. And this already looks like an airlock, honestly. We just have to change it to look like it's got, like, not change it a lot, but change it just to look like it's got something that will close over the door. And then that just leaves this wall, which is just a giant opening that would let the air escape from all of this. So I was thinking either an airlock there, but now that you're mentioning it, maybe an airlock here. And actually, sorry, that's not what I meant to do. We could do a slope here that basically goes all the way across, or we can keep it open for grenades and make it to where, what I was thinking was, if it, opens up into, like, opens up some other way, or if it's glass or something. It's not really a big grenade direction, to be honest. I don't think it would break anything to do that. In fact, we could just put glass there, and then visually it would be an opening, but at the same time it would logically be closed. And then what we could do is lead that into a curve style, not that far, but yeah, about as thick as this railing was originally, roughly, and make it to where we've got that window coming out to here to an airlock that's locked here, and maybe the window continues on through that. Do you think it would be cooler closed, or do you think the idea of repulsing people off? Oh, I do like the idea of people repulsing. I do like the idea of repulsing people off. We do want some pits for that. That's a good point. That is a really excellent point. I like that a lot, actually. I love repulsing people. I love to be repulsive. Just call me Rita Repulsa, because I love that equipment. Let's see. I thought it was one of those where it would be the other way around. I was just thinking, what about... This might be too simple. See, maybe the windows could look like they close, but they are open. Yeah, that's a good point. We could do something involving that. Just real quick, I don't think this is necessarily this is any good, but if we did something like this, then it would look like a solid window. Nah, nope. Like maybe them look like they are on hinges. Yeah, that would be cool. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me get this going so that I can paint on it. To explain what I'm doing. Okay. So, what if this area, right, is what is on hinges, and what we do is we have it like it can come out and up, and it's got like struts going up to it, so then it's actually up here. And then we would have like, you'd see it through this window, you'd see this other railing of windows up here, and you'd see these you know, struts. Ours, we can make it taller here so it's easier to repulse people through it than this one. This one's probably the height of Master Chief, I think, or maybe even a little bit shorter. So obviously yeah. I was thinking, okay, cool, yeah. So basically this area is solid and that area is solid, but then this thing I drew would be this area, and it would be the part that can come out and come up. So yeah, I like that a lot. I'm not sure mechanically why you'd build a space station to do that, and I think the main reason might be because you're trying to vent the atmosphere so that, for example, Flood can't get through or something like that, because maybe they have to breathe. I don't know, do Flood have to breathe? They rely on biological functions, but I don't know. Maybe it's to open it up to allow radiation to get through. That would kill Flood. You know? Yeah, let's not say that. They have to rely on biological functions, but I don't know if they actually have to breathe because we've never seen them in space before. And they have to alter the atmosphere to support their life better. But is that just to strengthen the Flood, or is it to actually, like, make it to where they have to, you know, does that, like, make it easier for them to survive, or does it actually just make them stronger, like, you know, Superman's red sun or whatever? Not the red sun, that's the opposite. He gets weaker with a red sun. Superman with a yellow sun. So, that may be too tall. I'm not sure you could repulse someone very easily out a window that's above that. So I might be going a little too tall with that. Let's go a little bit back down a bit, and then we will... That looks a little more decent. If you hit repulsor on someone here, they'd hit that slope and slide off and go that way, I think. But what we can do is actually make it even more extreme. Maybe we could add something on the outside with a walkway to make it make sense in a way. Yeah. Let's see. I think what I might do... Let's see. That angle would mean players could just walk right out, which is fine. We can let them do that. And to look down like that, that's fine. The main thing is that I want it to where whenever you get repulsored into it, you hit it and slide and keep going and fly off into the abyss. But maybe if you're, you know, if you're far enough away from it whenever you get hit, then you're going to be going slow enough that yes, you'll go over unless you push your way forward and walk away from it. That might work. I'll have to play around with the physics to see if that actually works. But yeah, I think that's going to work. Let's see. What is the dimension here? 32. We'll go 32 because I don't want to, yeah, watch. I don't want to hit the glass into that because that doesn't make any sense like design-wise. So I'll probably put like a concrete block that like goes and transforms into a thing that will transition into the glass much more easily. Or a steel block because we're trying to make a frame here. So then the question here is, and this is the very unfortunate design problem with the, with our lack of triangular glass, is, gosh, this is not going to rotate along a proper angle. Okay, let's see. Let's do this, and then, world, twist it one more, and then go like this, and then twist it like this. There we go. That should give me the proper angle. If we do this, we obviously have this going on, so I'm going to have the framework coming out to clear up that seam. I always forget what this one is, but it's such a good song. This one's from the Spartan Assault. This is like my favorite one from the Spartan Assault soundtrack. Like, it's easily the best one. Okay, go there, please. Thank you. Okay. So we need to go a little bit lower here. This is probably a 25. If I had to guess, this is a 25. And I can probably look at it and find out, but I think it's 25. Yeah, there we go. So there we go there. And then we'd have glass over here, which I can just clip into the wall because there's no problem with that. And now, let's see. So this seam here is going to be a problem, and that seam there is going to be a problem. So we're going to have a really thick beam that's right there. Those will be our vertical slats. And I don't know if you want to go straight vertical, or if you want to... Yeah, let's go straight vertical. Let's do that. I don't think we want to go out at an angle. That would be kind of weird. I think we want to go straight vertical. Maybe we could add something on the outside with a walkway to make it make sense. Yeah. That's right. I read that. Instead of going up, we could theoretically go down and make it... Oh, that moved the microphone. Sorry about that. Okay. So suppose we, instead of going up, like I had said whenever I was drawing that little picture, we go object, let's see, rotate this way, and we go boom, like, I don't know how thick this is actually going to be, but suppose we go down instead to where it's actually a platform you could come out and walk on, but we'll just have that soft kill bound to where, like, you know what I mean, like, would that be a good idea? Because then it could be like a landing pad for a pelican. You know what I mean? Like a pelican could come down here and back into it. You know what I mean? And put its landing pad there with the wing, with the tail coming out this way, and it could lower its little you know, the little panel, the little ramp that they can deploy, and then Marines could hop off onto it. I was thinking more of those windows on the bottom right. Which ones? I don't know what the bottom right was at the time. Let's see, with those big middle ones from the other picture. I am confused. Because of the delay between YouTube and you. Did you see my link? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, wait, did you see it? Yeah, YouTube automatically blocks links to websites other than YouTube, so unless you have sent it to me in Discord, then it probably blocked it. Exactly, would be cool to see the background of the ground. We're going to continue to make the map look more and more epic. That's what we were talking about last night. So send it to me on Discord and I'll see it. What are these? Hyperkin's modernized Xbox 360 gamepad is now available for pre-order for $49.99. I'll wait for reviews on that 'cause it's a third-party controller company and they usually make garbage. But that is really cool looking. I do like me some Xbox 360 controllers. If only they were wireless. Need one. What? If only they were wireless? No. No. Then you gotta buy batteries. Shh. Also, they don't plug into PCs as easily if they're wireless. You gotta, like, do all sorts of nonsense. I've heard good things on Hyperkin. Also, there's a slight delay between wireless and console. And wireless and PC. Why would you want wireless? It doesn't make any sense. We got notifications. People talking about my color thing or forge save bugs and stuff like that. Yeah. Aubergine and mint for me, the high contrast. Yeah. Helps identifying people better. Everyone's doing like a yellow for enemies. It looks like. Go players, what colors do you and your friend and foe? Yeah, that was just my tweet there. Not gonna lie, Netflix push harder. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. Sent you the link on Discord. Good. Okay. It appears to just be orbital. Lower right. Oh, those! I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Ah, that's not what I meant to do. And that's also not what I meant to do. This. Why is the picture not loading the rest of it? Okay, we're gonna open in the browser because it's not doing the full wide image. These windows. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be really tight. And actually, there's a window piece that specifically creates all of this that I'm using for doorways right now and other parts. So it actually creates some map cohesion. I don't know what I just did to my Discord though. Okay. What is going on with my Discord? Oh, it's this tiny thing. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now I see what happened. Okay, let's go back to the Halo thing so whenever it starts, the Halo Discord, so whenever it starts, it'll we'll just start hearing them talking, and then I can go over there. Okay, but yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good option. I like it. So there is a piece. This is actually a window piece right here. It might not work because it gets very wide on the sides as you extend it. I think there's a gotta go, but I'll be back later on. Okay, cool. Yeah, with the other window idea mixed with that window idea. Gotcha. Okay. So if you make this one too wide to make it wide enough for these windows, these side panels get wider and wider and wider as well. So it may not work, but basically, you know, you've got this. And we could then proceed to... No, not that. That's not what I want to do. Oh no, you can't undo scaling, so I've got to just bring it in this way. Okay, so if you do this, right, then that would be a pretty decent... There's a middle snap, I think, right? No, it's just that top and bottom. Dang. And that worked for some reason that time without having the clip through. So basically, that would look exactly like those windows, basically, except for the side panels are way too wide. I think there's actually one that's a wide window anyway, like already a wide window. It's in structures, I think. Maybe... no? Heavy door, yeah, these are not them. Okay, where did I find that piece? Slopes, bridges, columns. Was it in... I don't think it was in here. Maybe? Doorways? No, these are all the basic ones. Yeah, no. I don't remember where it is. Window... I thought it was in a section called, like, windows, but I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm wrong. Is it in UNSC? Because there are some UNSC walls in here. Let's see. Like the concrete walls. You know what I'm talking about? UNSC crane wall. Here, no, those are tech walls. Gosh dang, I don't remember where I found this thing in the first place. I always lose things. Let's see, fences, destructibles, crates, covers, city props, bazaar, barrels, arena, antennas. Okay. I swear. It's gotta be in structures, like I feel like it was. Columns, covered, doors, floors, slopes, walls. It might be in wall. There it is. Yeah, it is in here. Here we go. Window, wall, straight. Window, wall, straight B, straight A. Okay, so this one is a window that goes all the way to the floor. Oh, this is the one that you used, Ripshade. Yeah. Over in that other spot. You went like this, and it allows you to go wide without having to make it super detailed. So, okay, yeah, so this theoretically could work here. And then what I'll do is I'll hide the end pieces in the columns. Let's go correct angle. And I'll adjust that. But for now, we could just go this way. And then bring that down. And very quickly and easily make a window like that. Right? That then slopes up into the other piece. Now, that's what I was saying before, is if we make it to where the window opens up and down instead of going out and up. First off, it goes out and up, it'll feel a little bit more like this piece here is, you know, I don't know. The Oni building might be a little bit overwhelming. Or like the way it connects into the Oni building. We don't want it to connect into the Oni building too much. So that's why I was thinking the airlock there at the top of the ramp would be a good one. Or maybe even at the bottom of the ramp. That way we can have it come up here. And it could be a really big airlock, you know, a big door. And that way it would be able to keep all of its openness feeling here, while at the same time, yeah, it wouldn't close it up. We might do that. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about because I'm just looking in direction and there's no depth like control. So, for what I'm saying. So let me go ahead and show you. Okay, if we go 45 degrees and we go, let's see, world, and we rotate it this way. So one of the options that I was saying was we could put glass here. Obviously not that super dark glass because the idea is to keep it open, to make it feel like an open area. where we just have a really thin beam going across here, and then the glass, and then turn this into sort of a door frame, right? The other option is that we put the door frame farther back. Let's put a... I'll use this just as a display, so I don't have to go looking for anything. It's just wasted a whole bunch of time looking for stuff a second ago. So if we had the door frame back here, is a terrible example because it's not super good for this. But anyway, the point is, if I made a really big door frame back here, that is terrible. It's like super tall, super tall and skinny like that. Anyway, if we brought it back farther like this, then it would still feel like a big opening as far as the path is concerned. You know, it would be like this, and then you come down through here, and the walls would not be that thick. I need to show this with a properly built out thing, or else it's not going to work. Okay, in fact, it's probably going to be a completely unique... Well, it would be right there with that, so... I know I'm cutting myself off like every single thing I'm saying. It doesn't make... It's probably very hard to follow what I'm saying right now, and I apologize. Okay, so we want to go to structures. Let's try find the proper doors. Updates. Yes. Are the video... Wait, is the video going? Are they doing the actual video updates yet? Is it starting yet? I don't see. It's not starting on mine. So I assume not. But yes, updates are coming. Let's see. Floors. Okay. Columns, slopes, walls. By the way, that was that was Razors who said updates. For those on YouTube who are watching later, I didn't just randomly shout updates. Okay, so let's see. This one scales a little bit better, so it might be a better example. We're gonna do that. Let's see. Bring this back in. There we go. Let's just turn off snapping for now, just to get the, I thought I turned it off. Okay, just to get this going. So something like, more like this, there we go, where it's basically still a giant open pathway. Because I liked the openness of this pathway. It felt really good. It felt like a really nice little, like, round, like, curve that you're going around. So a gigantic doorway like this would be pretty cool, I think. And, let's see. But the other option is a smaller door here, and that's what I was trying to get at. Like, if we did something more like this... Would this be a better airlock, or would that be a better airlock? I mean, realistically, the smaller airlock would be a better airlock functionally. That's not what I mean. I just mean, like, which one would feel better? Which one would have the better mechanics? I know that if you come up here, and you decide to... Whoop, I did something wrong. Decide to get up here, people are going to be able to see you through the glass, at least, because if we do this, we're putting glass here. So people would be able to see you through the glass and would be able to know that you're trying to ambush them very easily. But basically, you could theoretically try to ambush people up here. You'd probably hide over here. But you can do this anyway, without the glass, so... You don't hop down on them. So, yeah, I don't know. Which one do you guys think is better? Let's do like a vote sort of thing, because I'm trying to think of which one is actually better. Because I don't think you're throwing grenades up there to get down there. You might as well just throw them there. It's a straight, sheer wall. If you throw a grenade there, it'll fall there too. So it doesn't matter if you throw it all the way up there and make it fall. You know, the only thing that would benefit that is if you're trying to time a grenade to fall at a specific moment and you want to go higher so that it falls slower. But yeah. So you guys let me know which one you guys think is better. Is it actually that far behind, or am I not live? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I was just gonna say that the live stream is currently filling up with people to watch, but it is not. The little announcement stream is not on here yet. So that's gonna be cool. Looking forward to that. Okay, so if we do this, for example, the glass that's coming out, that comes out and up, makes me wonder where we should put the glass doing that. Like, I could make a flat wall here, and then have the areas over here be more like that glass and open, or something to that effect. It's hard to say. I'm not sure. Okay, so the really hard part's gonna be making this glass right here. Let's see. Be flat and make sense with the same kind of opening, because it realistically would have to have its hinges on a different angle, which means that it would open this way instead of this way, unless it was an angled piece of glass, which we cannot create. So that's going to be really confusing and difficult. And more to the point, it's going to have this problem where as we go out, it's going to slowly protrude into this direction as we try to go up. So I would have to slide it up here. I'd have to move it. Oh, okay. So to solve this, I'd have to go 5 and slide this up here. Gosh, we need angled glass. Interesting how it went from Halo to Lord of the Rings soundtrack. You know, it did, and I'm probably going to get demonetized. Jesus Christ. Didn't even occur to me. Well, I'm not monetized, actually. I'm gonna get like, that part of the stream is gonna be muted, just watch. Well, for the main video later on. Yeah, it's just gonna be completely muted in the video for like a solid couple minutes, because there's no way that they don't have that copyrighted, and are not a stickler for it, you know? I am so torn about what to do here. Because I wanted to try, I was hoping to make it make sense. Let's see. We're back in Halo 1. Let's go to Halo 3. Why does it not have it on loop? Like, why does it lose the fact? Like, I hate that. I click on loop every single time, and then eventually it just drops. I've got Halo 2 and Halo 3 intertwined. Here we go. There's some good one. There's some good music right there. Jeez, okay. So yeah, you're right, Aaron. It just like randomly went to Lord of the Rings on me, and now who knows what's gonna happen. Hopefully I don't get some kind of copyright strike to where it hurts my my ability to become monetized or anything like that, because that would suck. I'm sure they have some kind of leeway for that kind of thing, right? Okay, this has got to be the right angle, right? Here we go. Okay, yeah, that's the right angle. Let's see. Let me try and get this to there. Actually, I need to do it down here, because the way it scales is this direction. It scales in like this. So if I did this, right, something to this effect, I'd have to move the rocks and stuff, but it would be kind of cool to be able to see out that window. Yeah, I'm liking this, but I need to sort everything out. This can come down lower now because we have railing there that looks good. So yeah, I am liking that being a slope, but I might come up here and then go straight up or something like that. And I will have to mix it in with some big beams that will make it make sense, because the way that it's sloping there is no good. You know what I mean? Well, I'm glad you caught that, Aaron. I hope that the YouTube delay doesn't mean that I end up, like I said, hit with some kind of demonetization. You know what's actually a good support that isn't specifically a Forerunner support, if we just retexture it, that I like a lot, is actually the classic Forerunner support, this one. This one is really simple to redo. Let's go to object. If it's not right side up, you can just do this. You can very easily retexture it, and it ends up not feeling like a Forerunner support. I was enjoying it because it's different music. Well, yeah, I know, same. I wish that I need more copyright-free music. I think Microsoft has some other music that they are okay with people using, and that would probably be the best bet, because I'm advertising one of their games effectively by doing all this forging. So they'd probably be cool with me using like Gears of War or something, but I have no idea how far their normal policy goes. So if that's true and someone finds out for me, that would be great. Otherwise, I have to go Googling it myself. In which case, you know, that's fine. I just, you know, it's just something I've got to actually work at. It's time spent whenever I could be either streaming or working on the map to get it done. So that's why I haven't gotten around to it myself. But yeah. Okay, so just playing around with some angles here. This is how to get your 45, which is not so much. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I just, yeah, maybe that is what I want to do because I want to reset my scaling. So basically what I'm trying to get at is that if I use the fact that this gets wider out down here as a piece of, you know, this whole contraption here, then I can make the glass coming out. I can angle it potentially with the glass coming out and going up to make it make sense. But to do that, I need to scale it down substantially, I think, and using it more like this. Whoops. And going a little bit more out like that to make it. This said it was Halo 2 or Halo 3, but it sounds like Halo 1. So it's the Halo. Oh, it's the Halo 2. That's the Mjolnir mix, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. So like if I do something like that, and this is all very rough block out, obviously, then I could go with the frame. And in that case, let's see. This Halo 2 Classic, yeah. The Halo 2 Classic Mjolnir mix. So I'm going to drag this out and get rid of it for a second. So basically if I have this go down and down like that, and then into this, so the column here to eat up where it overlaps, and then right here just have a nice little thin one that looks out, which might be so thin, it might literally just be a little tiny window here. It's more of a window than anything else, just for show. And it goes up and comes back into here. Then I could, yeah, the airlock would be there, which would allow this to all be very, you know, solid. And then that would be like, this would be folding out into a, like I said, a pelican drop point. You know, it could honestly, I don't know. Would it make sense to put like a staircase in the middle and put two smaller windows on the sides and literally make it a pelican, like a landing pad? You know what I mean? For pelicans and the like. Like a regular out, like there's not a place for a pelican to land so far other than the roof. Which I could make a way down from the roof theoretically. But yeah, 10-minute warning. Oh, for the video, for their stream. Ubernick is in there now. Let's see, who all is in there right now? Kevin Coolax, Ubernick, AZ Wilco, or As Wilco rather. Sorry, Aaron. Let's see, Spartan Com. Don't know who that is. But yeah, there's a lot of people. I don't know why I recognize this person's face. Maybe I've seen them on Twitter. But yeah, Pandora Oz. Anyway, that's pretty interesting. Everyone's piling in at this point. So anyway, as a landing pad for a pelican, I think that'd be pretty cool, especially since it's right next to the Oni building, which would be like, you know, yeah, it'd be like one of their evacuation, you know, directions, their evacuation routes. So that's the word that I'm looking for. Let's see. In which case it would be more of a hard panel. You know, we probably wouldn't make it glass, or we could make it a giant landing pad that has glass looking straight down through the abyss, which I have not organized properly, but it would be kind of cool to have that. I don't know, what do you guys think? I'm thinking I like that idea. It's definitely something that I would want to run by Ripshade if he were here. But basically, like if there was a landing pad up here, like this, okay? We have the glass ramp, and then it goes into a landing pad with a large glass panel in the middle, right? Except not that thin, right? And then we let's do that for now. Okay, something like this, except that we want to have a way that they would actually come up and down. So we put a little staircase or something like that here that would just come down onto the ground off of this. And apparently I've got an abyss here. Oh, nope, that's not the piece I wanted. Oh. I have no idea what just happened, but I grabbed the wrong piece and then everything went haywire. Okay, so I guess that for now. It still needs to be longer. Okay, I'll go back to here now. Now that I've got it the right length. Ugh. Why is it so clippy? Is that better? No, it's still clipping through it. Anyway, the point is something like this would work. And then we can do the reinforced glass with these pieces still. And bring them in here, which I like the look of a lot. And it would create some visual, like, it would reuse the visuals from here over to here, so it kind of unify some stuff. Obviously that's not correctly stretched or anything like that, but something to that effect. I'm liking the way this looks personally. A lot. So, that way it wouldn't really open at that point. We wouldn't be doing the out, up, in, except for maybe over here. This would probably have that going on. This would be the hardest place to have the thing where it goes out and then up. And it would require a whole bunch of panels of glass of a certain thinness, like how it's not very tall right here. A bunch of really short ones that are paneled on top of each other and then rails along the sides. Which is a really unique look because not a lot of people know how to do that. It's basically what I did here, where you've got angled glass effectively here, and a lot of people would probably look at this and not understand what's happening, but it really is just a bunch of paneled glass. It's a bunch of individual panels of varying width, so they don't clip through. This one should not be clipping through, but it is, which is weird. It's not clipping through on the opposite side of the map, so I'm going to go ahead and nudge it back in there. There we go. Now it's good. And the only downside to it is that it creates this dark line where the two panels meet. Because the glass, there's no glass that has just like an invisible side, panel, like side line here. It's all something it's all just, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so of course this does look really cool now up against that. And would look cool over there. And this is one of the hard parts too, is getting this to look good. One option is also to just, let's see, get that glass, get that, okay. It's just to make it, well, I thought that was going to do it. Copy that, copy the glass, there we go. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, it doesn't want to do that. It doesn't want to do what I wanted to do. It wants to do its own thing. Is make it continue out that way and just put a flat panel underneath it. Which would be fine, I think. In fact, I think it would be kind of cool to be able to hop up onto this and look through it, and then also maybe use it as a height to get an advantage on people down here. So, yeah, actually, I like that. Let's do that. I'm beginning to think this is the route to take. So what I'm gonna do is actually put this here, right? No, that's probably getting in the way. I may not use this piece at all anymore, but I am liking the way it looks at this scale, so maybe if I can make it even thinner. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I definitely like the way that looks. I like that a lot. And obviously, the angle isn't quite the same. I don't know if I do want it to be the same, but it could be good the same. Not sure. Might be better if it pokes out a bit. I don't know. Everyone's slowly starting to pile in. Let's see. Yeah, so thinner, smaller windows like this, right, to look through, and then a staircase in the middle. Let's do that. Let's put a... Let's see. Where is that? Is that... Now I've forgotten where these are. Structures, ramps, I believe, slopes, and then you've got your staircases. Yes, there we go. So the metal staircase might be the way to go because it's clipping into a very large chunk here that won't be visible from below anyway. So it might be the best route to go. I don't know how thin it gets though. I need to try that. I need to figure that out first. Let's put it right there in the middle. Let's see how thin this can get. Very, very nice. I like it. And the reason it's the way to go is because if you see it from the side, it won't look too weird. You know what I mean? Or from the outside. I think from out here, we want it to have a solid look to it. Instead of being just, you know. Although floating stairs do look cool. So, who knows? What would be best there? But we only need it just wide enough that you can go up. I kind of like that it pokes out too. I was thinking that I would have it flush, but actually I think it looks good poking out. Let's see, Z. Just had to get hit by like a final stroke of inspiration, that's all. I like that this is the black next to that. It actually looks great. Versus the silver over here. Let's see what it would look like the other way around though, just to see. Oh well, it's not apparently in the middle. It has a very strange way about it. But anyway, with the gray there, and the black over here. Yeah, I prefer it with the black. Yeah, that looks nicer. Makes more sense. And then we'll just go to 45 degrees so we don't have to do so many twitches to get it to the other side. Oop. There we go. And then this needs to be wider. About that wide, and we need to be in the middle. There we go. And I think the glass is on top of the paneling there, which looks a little weird, but we'll fix that later. So then this would look like, whoop, I thought I was in Spartan mode. Okay. So then this would be like a staircase up onto a large like landing pad looking thing. We could make it look even more like a landing pad, but for now this is what I'm looking at. Do I want it to be this way or this way? I think we are doing this sort of like black to black kind of thing going on here. Which I think is really cool. It's not actually black, it's more of a dark gray, but you know what I mean. Do we? Yeah, we lost some height here. It's supposed to be the top part. There we go. Let's see if that creates any kind of annoying lip there. So that would be a really cool place to be able to go up onto, too. It would also be a cool place that in big team battle we might be able to spawn like a wasp or something, but... like if we had them here, they could... But then it's really close to where it would be on the opposite side of the map as well, so having two wasps that close together would be too easy to lock down that area just before they spawn and have two of your own teammates hop on them and go out into the map, so... We're not going to do that. But it is a cool landing pad area. Let's see. Maybe if I adjust the thickness here just right, let's see, and attach it to the bottom, then I can get this thing to look a little bit better. Everyone's really piling in now. There's lots of people in there. There we go. And this is kind of reinforcing this image too. Like they've got this like glass floor kind of thing going on. I'm honestly really liking this. It doesn't have the idea of the glass panel opening, like being open, but which would be really cool. But it does actually make a whole lot of sense and looks really badass. I think that I've made them too long, too tall, which means I need to move that over, which also makes sense because we're too far over there too. Yeah. So I need to adjust some things, but yeah. In fact, I want... What? No, that's not what I need to do. I need to do this. Okay. So this should be over here. Oh, that's not where I want to be. We must be at, like, probably a 5-minute warning at this point. That is not a bad place to lock it. There we go. 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to bring this back just a tad. And then bring this over to there. Bring this to there. Let's see how that works. Nope. Still needs a lot less. Let's see. Why is it not moving? There we go. Oh, right. I have to... What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to use the old one on the right, using a different one than the one on the left. There we go. Oh, wow. That's actually perfect. Looks like. Let's make sure. Not quite, but it's really close. Let's snap this back down. We'll go to 13. Let's see if that helps. And then it's going to be thinner, and also, let's see. Here we go. There it is. That's a perfect lineup. Ah. There we go. So yeah, you'll be able to see down there. You'll be able to come up here and see even better. You'll be able to assault people who are down here very easily. So yeah. We could also theoretically do like a man cannon onto those with the big team battle mode, where you can launch yourself up here. And that'd be like a little landing pad for that. And that would actually be pretty good because there's not really a way back into the base out here. Like the central structure, you can go down. We were going to go down here into the underground, but yeah, basically we don't have much going on there other than that. Let's get our ducks in a row. Ducks are feisty, so I don't blame you. I don't even know where the chat is for this window. Let's see. Okay, so if that's the way we're doing it, then having one over here, let's see. That would snap to this corner right here, because that's snapped to this corner, right? Isn't it? No, it isn't. It's supposed to be. There we go. But whenever I scaled it, I must have messed that up a bit. There we go. Okay, and then we go over here. And we do that for that kind of window there. I would like it to visually be, like, these are nice and visually centered because I flipped them. This one is not going to be because it's got the gray on this side and the black on that side. So I would love if that was the case, but I might have to pull that off, I would have to probably divide it into two. And I think I like the wider one instead of having like a column down the middle. Which what I would do if I was going to do that, just to visualize it, would be, gosh, get to world movement, please. Sometimes I get into object movement, and it doesn't even make any sense why. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half, which means, let's see. We're at 19.3. So what is that? 9.5 would be, you know, 19. It would be 19, so then we just need 0.65. There we go, 9.65. There, that's half that. And then we could do this. And then we could line it up in the middle. And that would be if we did it this way. And because they get so thin, it might work. I can just move this because I don't want to have to delete it, but I do. I want that to be my last one selected, so that's the snap point. Boom. That's what we'd be looking at, which wouldn't be too bad. It'd actually be kind of cool to have that structural column in the middle, so maybe we will leave that like that. And then this would be the 19.3. There we go. Oh, 0.5. Oh, this one. 19.3. They're going live, it looks like. They're getting really ready now. Bring this up to there. Delete that one. Delete that, and then we'll do like a panel there. And you'll kind of, if I make this flat with it, then it won't get in your way. You could literally just, you could run along this and get a height advantage on someone down there, which would be really cool. Or power slide across it. That'd be fun. And very cool. And then we go up with the glass here to get our, and then back in to get our little domed one that we were talking about. So if I wanted to keep this sort of middle column, which I don't know that I do. I think I want to make the middle column go away. It looks like they're about to go live with their thing. I think I want to make the middle column go away, but I do want it to be centered at the same time. I want it to be visually. So I think what I would do here is actually rotate it. And snap it. Does it do what I think it does? Does it scale in one direction, or does it scale in both? I forget. We were just doing this, but yeah, it's just one direction. So what I would do probably is getting so close. They're getting so close. They're just setting up the scene. Let's drag this away. I'm about to put that on the screen in just a second. There's so many people piling in at the moment. People are getting in here. And they're setting up the scene here. And this will be the 19... Oh, I didn't actually copy it. Whoops. 19.3. Snap it to there. Yes. I don't like that window. Personally. I don't like that it's got all this. It doesn't have the... Well, I mean, it would be taller. But other than that, it's like the side panels are too thick. It looks too weird. I mean, it's thick. Whenever it's thick here, it's fine. But it's kind of weird the way it is. So I think what I would either do is build something that fits there, so I don't have too many of the same repeating object, or do something like this. So you just have a column in the middle. In which case, it could just literally be all the same size, like this. They're almost there. Okay, like this. It could just be like this. I don't know if I like that, though. It definitely need to be taller in the middle. The way this visually doesn't, it would need to go up to there in one way, because visually it's not good how it is. But more importantly, the way that it's the same exact panels is fine for like a tunnel that's really long, but having it just be this short little stretch of it, it needs to be taller. It feels like visually, it just needs to be taller. So if I go on the y-axis and increase this to, let's say, 10, and do the same here, and then bring it up and snap into place again. Right, let's do this and see if this works. Boom, and then grab these. And then grab that middle one. Okay, something went wrong with this one. It's 10 and 10, right? Yep, so I snapped it to the wrong spot. Let's snap it there. Okay. Glass, panel, snap. Okay. See, so that already is looking better because the middle glass is taller. And it gives you this sort of like... You could actually watch a man cannon launch in and be like, an attack from here. So that's actually kind of cool. If we did do the man cannon thing, that would work. I think I need to go taller than 10, though. I think I need to go to like 15 even. Or no, maybe not that. Just 12. Yeah, that looks like it'll be good. Go to 12. Actually, I could snap this here already, because we already have our snapping point, and I could just snap that to there. And then I need to raise this up. I just won't snap it to anything. Okay, oop, I did something wrong up here. Glass, panel, panel, bring it this way. Snap it there. Okay, here. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And you can look out the window. And all that stuff. Now I wonder if we put this here. Let's see. So they are snapped to the same spot there. So if I snap this to... is it that point? Is that correct? No. It's this one. This one needs to be snapped to there. And then I put something in between there. Then it would fit pretty perfectly. Yeah. And it would be a nice support structure kind of thing there. It also kind of bridge between the oddity of the Oni building versus the UNSC, because this feels like UNSC windows, but an Oni column, which is going to be kind of a cool little transition point, I think. It doesn't actually feel like necessarily an Oni column, but it kind of feels Oni. And then, and so it'd be kind of like where their construction company and their construction company, you know, were to come together. And I don't mean business company, I mean like a company of soldiers, probably. But yeah. I would definitely need to hide that for the Big Team Battle version, and so that whenever you come out here and look at it, it doesn't go, wow, that's unfinished. But yeah. We're looking good so far, I think. And if we wanted to reuse this same kind of column shape, let's get over here to that. We could do that, and then maybe. No, it's blocking a lot of the view. I'm beginning to think that there wouldn't be a... beginning to wonder if I shouldn't put some kind of cannon inside of here. Some kind of weapon or shield generator or something like that inside of here. Not make it a full-blown column, but actually make it intentionally open right there with a weapon in it or something. But this is beginning to feel like something that would shoot, you know? But nah. We'd make column. It would be a column, but at the same time, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I like the idea of power sliding across here and then jumping back into there, and stuff like that. So that's gonna be kind of cool. The question is, do we want to have the same kind of idea down here? And if we do, ooh, I just thought of something. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of that and this because they're not perfect anyway. They're not like adjusted correctly. Let's see. Just so I don't have to do this again later, I'm going to prefab these guys. Ooh, I made the glass yeah, we're going to deselect that and then reselect it and then prefab it. That way, that's not the one I want either. But anyway, the point is that if I do this, right, and I deselect and reselect that one and to make it the snap point, I do something to this effect, right? And then I make it to where this stuff is taller. And in fact, doubled up and or stretched to be taller. I'm just going to double it for now just to see if this shape works. I don't know what it's trying to snap to, but it does not want to snap to the right spot. So I will just to see if it works, put this here. I didn't copy the glass. Anyway, basically if I continue that at the same height, and then bring this down to the floor here, right? And then put the appropriate number of panels or a wide enough, or a stretched out panel here, then I could theoretically have the same kind of visual thing match up through to here, through the airlock, and have the airlock roughly right there. And I think that would be really cool, and this would close up the air supply here, while simultaneously keeping it open here And I don't know if this is way too deviant, like too much of a deviant from deviation. That's the word. Too much of a deviation from your stuff, Ripshade. You're probably not in here. Oh, whoa! It's on. Hopping out till it's done. Really? How is it on? And I can't hear it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Am I missing the whole freaking thing? When did you say that? I've got no audio here. Okay. I thought I had it. Let's see. Output device.
Sure. Let's start with Forge.
Cool.
I do want to say that I'm like Fiesta is my main thing, so I am so friggin' excited for Super Fiesta. I can't wait. I was loving it in BTB for season 3. I just can't wait for Super Fiesta to be part of the Fiesta playlist. So that's going out. The biggest thing for Forge, I think, that most people are going to be excited about is just the PC screenshot upload, right? We had to turn that off for safety reasons, but we've now have the support for the safety team, so we're turning that back on. So PC Forgers, thank you for your patience. As of Tuesday, you should be able to take screenshots with the Windows game bar or the Xbox game bar, and then add those to your maps and publish those just like you would do on Xbox. So that's a huge win there. Yes. I'm super excited that we finally landed that. Again, thank you for your patience.
Michael, that would be Wednesday, correct?
Yes, Wednesday, not Tuesday. Apologies.
Yeah,
I got my days.
We normally do Tuesday launches, but next week we're doing Wednesday. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for the clarity or the clarification there. Yeah, and then the other fixes that we have coming, the node graph budget fix. So for this update, we have a quick fix, which basically makes it so there's a 128 node limit to every script brain. So that's for any script brain, you can have 128 per script brain nodes. Existing script brains that have more than 128, this will not break them. You just will not be able to add any more to that node until you bring it down below 128. And there's a pop-up dialog that shows up when you've reached that limit. For season 4, we do have incoming additional budget updates, additions, and fixes that will sort of add on to this. But for now, this is we got this out quick just so we could help folks who were running into node graph issues. This will prevent you from getting into a bad state.
Hey, Michael, can I ask you real quick? I just saw a question went by in chat. Can you explain why this limit is in place?
It's complex, but essentially the way that we have to manage node graph entities means, and particularly with the UI and the way it was built, once you get above 128 entities per script brain, you're just running afoul of a UI at a memory limit, which then was cascading into the map itself. So again, for season 4, the definitions of entities and simulation memory and node graph budgets and things like that, we'll make that more clear in an upcoming update. So I can't really go into details because honestly, I don't know the full details, but I do know that it has a lot to do with UI entities and how they affect our memory.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, and so the next thing in line is autosaves. So there's 2 issues. One was fixed. One will be fixed for 1.4. And the first one is like when you crash, Forge was not auto-saving your work, which was a big pain in the butt, right? So we have fixed that for this next update. Right now in the live product, there's when you exit Forge normally, it is also creating an autosave. I know this is the bane of some of your existences out there, and I appreciate that. For this update, that fix was just too risky to include, so we pushed it to 1.4. So we're aware of it. We do have a fix. So every time you leave Forge right now, it's going to create an autosave. Just know that you can go into your version history and delete that if you want.
Okay, cool. That's good.
1.4 is 1.4. It's kind of our release of season 4 for folks.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so used to that. I should have said season 4. Yeah.
The game dev language.
And then the next thing, we have improved Forge precision movement. So when you, in the snap settings, if you go to the Z fighting or the .001 snap setting, things are going to move incredibly slow and incredibly precise. So, a lot of people, especially in the up-down axis, when you're moving objects around, this is going to be a big deal. Our internal level designers have been complaining about this, and as has the community. So this is a big deal. Forge bookmarks disappearing, that's fixed now. So if someone that you've bookmarked an asset from, if they delete that asset, all your bookmarks will not disappear anymore. Hooray. And then the other one that was really frustrating was some folks couldn't load into an older version of your map. You'd make 100 versions or 1,000 versions, and you'd try to load into an older one, and it would only load into the latest one, which was locking you out of maybe even fixing your map if it got corrupted or something. So that's fixed with this update too. So
awesome.
Those are the big Forge things that we're stoked about.
Yeah, okay. I know team's been eager to get these into the hands of our Forge community. We'll come back to Forge in a minute, maybe, Michael, and we can kind of look beyond next week's update. But before we do that, on the topic of next week, did you have anything else on the playlist side of things that you might want to touch on, expanding on some things that Unicheck mentioned earlier?
I think the big deal was, for playlists next week, we're going to be having the Super Fiesta playlist going on. So that's top of mind for me. Also, I'm just
Hey, Michael, somebody was asking about Super Fiesta. Is that going to replace Fiesta? Is it how is that going to work?
Oh, that's a great question. It's not going to replace Fiesta. So what the Super Fiesta playlist is going to look like? It's going to basically be all of the current Fiesta experiences, along with now the Super Fiesta experiences side by side. And then eventually, I just talked about this yesterday, eventually we're just going to be making a Super Fiesta mode that combines everything. So you'll be ping-ponging back and forth between normal Fiesta and Super Fiesta. And normal Fiesta is random weapon loadouts with the regular MP weapons. Super Fiesta is random weapon loadouts with the campaign weapons.
So in that, actually, as I'm thinking about it, if once it's all combined, is there the possibility you could spawn with the Sidekick and the Ravager, but also the updated grapple,
Yep.
grapple? Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how Halo 5 worked,
Yep.
and I think we want to eventually get to that.
I would
Very
love that.
cool.
I think that would be a ton of fun. No, Sweatpant. It's going to be one playlist for now. So it's going to have both Super Fiesta and Fiesta in the same playlist.
Hopefully that answered that question.
I like that we can just answer questions. It's super cool.
Yeah, I'm digging this format. This is great. Appreciate everybody in the chat too. Good questions. Everybody's wholesome. Yep. This is a good time. This is one of the best lunches I've had in a while.
Hey, we had lunch yesterday.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Now with that, you know where it ranks, John.
I didn't know you said in the chat, John. I thought you were gone. Sorry. Hey, do you want to keep the topic on playlist just for a little bit here, Michael, and then we'll kind of loop back to Forge, because I'm just kind of looking at some of our notes. There's a couple things that I know we wanted to touch on. One thing I just wanted to maybe tee you up here, and not to put you on too much of the spot and turn this into a TED Talk, but we get a lot of questions in general around playlists and the philosophy of playlists, and I think the biggest question is just why isn't my favorite mode or playlist there all the time? Please add this one. Please add this one. Part of that, we have rotationals. We bring things in, we bring things out, but I think it'd be great just to hear from your perspective as kind of the lead that is responsible for our playlist plans. Just what is your philosophy, and what would you like people to know? How do you guys approach it? Why don't we just have every playlist all the time? And just help us kind of understand where we are, and maybe also kind of how are you thinking about the future?
Sure. You know, pleasing everyone all the time is a real challenge, as you might expect. You know, I'll use quick play as an example because that's probably the thing that players play the most. Quick play, you know, the goal around quick play is not to feature everything in the game. The goal is to provide experiences that are, in general, always going to be fun and good. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit that, like, some of our map mode combinations aren't the best, right? That's just how it goes. And so, like, what we try to do is look at player sentiment, we look at playlist data, and we try to make really educated and sound decisions about what's gonna, in general, on average, provide players the best experience, right? And sometimes that's at the expense of an experience that you might actually really like, right? Like sometimes the numbers just aren't in your favor, or even the sentiment isn't in your favor. And so that's the main reasoning why we limit things in quick play, for example. I don't think the idea of adding everything to quick play is the best idea. You know, we probably have close to 80 experiences in that. And we could certainly weight things so the greatest hits, so to speak, would be the things that happen the most. But you'd still have this chance of getting a really kind of crappy experience, right? And so, like, for quick play, we don't want that. That said, we're trying to figure out a good way to take, I'm calling these the experiences that don't meet the bar for greatest hits. I'm calling those B-sides, right? They're like, you know, a band makes an album and they put all their greatest hits together, but like maybe songs that weren't the best quality or just didn't fit with the theme, they go into the B-sides. So like our B-sides, right, how do we fit those into our playlists? So I think rotationals are a great place for those experiences that didn't perform well or don't have good sentiment, but some players still kind of dig. Rotationals are a good place for that. And so we're trying to figure out how to divvy up the playlist, the quick play between the greatest hits, new experiences, right? When new maps and modes come out, we want to add that as appropriate. And then also, where do we put those B-sides? And so I don't think we have an answer to that quite yet. But I think by season 4, we'll have a better answer to
1-4. We should just all start using
what's more of a staple in quick play, and then where those B-sides are going to live. They're not going to necessarily go away forever either, right? Like the goal is not to like arbitrarily just
wait a minute. 1-4.
We want to make sure players.
Why
have
is
the
it
best
1?
experience
Now I
possible.
don't know. It could be something else, but 1 might be
Got
year
it.
1.
Let's see. Any questions in the chat about what you just said before we?
Or if
Kat
it's about
is loving
the
the music
storyline.
references.
Yeah.
I did see a question just about some. I want to be clear. There's some questions about ranked and some stuff around ranked. Tashi, who folks may know as our esports lead at the studio, he also is the lead responsible for our ranked playlists and ranked experiences. So, I think we probably just would table those questions and those topics, and I do think it would be awesome to get Tashi in here soon to do another one of these, and we could just really deep dive into rank, because there's a lot to unpack there. I know they've also been busy doing a lot of work and revamping some of the systems there, and I know Tashi would be excited to come in and talk more about that. So we'll kind of park that bucket of topics for now, but it's a good point to raise, and we'll work with Tashi to come back and do a session just on that in the future.
Yeah, one of the questions I saw was last Spartan standing, and I don't really have an update necessarily, but I have spoken to the modes team. They're not keen on killing it. Like they know that it needs some work, and so they're working on fixing it. I just don't know when that work's gonna happen. But it is an experience that we do want to eventually put back out in the wild.
Awesome.
Cool. I actually liked it to a degree.
Let me see here. I'm looking at my list. You covered a lot of those good topics there.
Yeah.
Sure. I think. Yeah. I see your cursor. Yes.
Yeah. You saw my cursor. Yeah, totally. So also we're putting out the Super Escalation Slayer variant in BTB, in the BTB Unlimited playlist. It's going to be Super Escalation Slayer. So it's
that's there right now.
Yeah,
it's
that's live
already
right now.
out.
That's live right now. Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. I got my
not know.
singles
Breaking news
crossed.
with Michael Short today.
But hey, if we're talking new BTB stuff, can we talk about my new favorite thing coming?
Would that be bullet point 4?
Quite possibly.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
looking at the
I
right
love
sheet.
I feel like I'm
love
not invited to some
for
party. Are
playlist.
you guys on like a Word doc right now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we're on a Word doc.
Oh, you're using that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the
So-
Teams chat.
Sam, I'm actually with you. I'm really excited about this. So, we've long had the idea to put out a playlist that's an experimental playlist, right? It's a kind of playlist that comes out, hangs out for a week or two, and it's a work in progress or it's a new experience that we're maybe unsure about, right? And then we get it out there for a couple of weeks. It's public. Y'all play it. And then we link to a survey, and then you give us feedback, and then we go back, we take it away from the playlist, and we work on it, and we improve it, and then we release it later or do another experimental playlist. So
It sounds cool.
several weeks back, I think someone had caught wind that the community was really hyped on BTB heavies, right? It's a legacy mode.
Of course.
So we
course
took that to
we're hyped on
heart.
that.
Some of the designers in-house spent some of their free time and just worked out a quick and dirty version of BTB heavies.
Oh, nice.
We played it
That
in-house,
is my favorite
and
game
we were
mode.
like, hey, this is pretty cool.
I'm very excited.
Upcoming, our experimental playlist, which is called the Combat Workshop. The first try at that is going to be BTB heavies. I think this is, what week is that going out? That would be
In...
the week of...
Not next week. I think it's the week after.
I think it's the, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's the week of the 16th. That's going to be the first thing. I believe it'll be out for 2 weeks. And there'll be a link to a survey at some point where you can give feedback on that. We're going to collect that feedback and then go and improve that and, make changes, and eventually BTB heavies will be in some rotational, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the whole goal, is to kind of get things out early, get feedback with y'all. I love establishing
Love
more
it.
points
It
of
sounds
contact and having a better dialogue with the community, and this is one of the ways to do it. And we'll, in the future, we'll be doing more things like this. It might be, I don't know, we could do map white boxes, get your feedback. We could do experimental modes. The sky's the limit, really. So I'm excited to get this started.
I'm going to go ahead and drop in the chat the playlist calendar for May, which outlines exactly when Combat Workshop will be dropping, as well as everything else
Hope
going
you
on
guys
in
can
that
see
playlist
chat well
rotation.
enough. Let's see if I should.
Somebody's asking about will the surveys be linked or limited to Microsoft account details? I actually think we're going to be trying something new on our end as well. And I think the goal is to get the surveys linked in the in-game MOTD using a QR code. So you'll be able to pull it up on your phone and fill it in
No
that
idea
way,
where my
hopefully.
This way is. Okay, here we go.
Hey,
Let's just open it.
John, can I bring this up? I'm going to put you in the spot here for a second.
No, I got to go.
No, it's
Again.
I thought you've been going since we started this. But,
You are in the bathroom. I mean,
I know, right? No, but I should also let folks know, just much like Tashi is our
This is
studio
awesome.
lead that
Big
oversees
team
the ranked
leader,
experiences. We
level
also have
workshop,
other
team
teams, and
snipers,
we have a group that
nice.
oversees the
Look at that
actual
chat
modes.
right there.
But I did see a question come up a few times, John, and I know this is something you've been in contact with. Basically around sort of the Pelican drops and sort of the feedback that I know you've been chasing down for a while about some of the uneven vehicle drops in BTB. Can you just speak to that real briefly? Because I know you've been working with the modes team quite a bit on that. Again, not asking you to commit to anything, but just you can acknowledge that that is something the team's aware of and that you've had recent conversations and it's something that they're going after. Correct?
Yes, I don't know what it would look like in terms of timing or even feasibility on truly executing on it. I know it was actually a complex underlying system causing those drops to fall out of sync. So I don't want to come out and say we've got any full promises there. But team is definitely aware, right? We had mentioned it in previous, I think another blog before, and maybe in one of our outcomes blogs. But yes, we're definitely aware, Pelican drops, right? It's my number one thing for improving the big team battle experience when I go and talk to the team.
Very nice.
And
I hope that while they're doing that, they can
are
work them
aware.
into Forge.
Cool. Yeah, that's just to reiterate, we can't promise a specific what might happen, but I do just want to remind folks that that is something that's been consistent feedback from players. It is something on the team's radar, and is something that they definitely would like to go after and try and improve upon. So, let's see what's happening in chat. People are arguing if they can or can't hear Unishek.
Yeah, apparently some people maybe John blocked them all, and that's why they can't hear him. I don't, wouldn't put him past him to block Kevin.
My perfect strategy.
All right, let's see. Back to the mystery Word doc that Unishek doesn't seem to have access to. Anything else there in that playlist bucket, Shore, from your perspective?
There's one more that's upcoming that I'm pretty excited about.
Yep.
There was, you might have known recently, Forge Hub had a 2v2 map competition, and we cherry-picked some of those maps from that community, and we'll be having a communities doubles playlist in the upcoming weeks. So super excited to be able to do something like that, kind of a variant on the community collection.
Where's Kevin?
Excited to play doubles myself. So
John blocked
congrats,
me.
and thanks to the map ingestion team for helping with that. So excited to get, again, anytime we add Forge community content into our playlist is a huge win, in my opinion. So glad to get that going.
Oh, hold that thought, because I think that was our next topic we want to talk about, right? Because I know we have a lot of questions. I'm gonna jump on this landmine here myself. I want to answer this question because I feel like we hear it come up a lot. Any news about a match composer?
Oh man!
I just wanted to acknowledge, and I think we maybe have danced around this before in various ways. I don't have anything I can officially confirm today, and certainly don't have a date. But I do want to acknowledge, and Shore, you might have some perspectives here. The team definitely has aspirations to continue sort of improving the matchmaking experience. Obviously, the match composer and MCC fans really responded well to it. We think it worked out great.
Nice.
It really brought a lot to that title. I can confirm that some version of how do we evolve beyond our current sort of strict playlist model is absolutely on top of mind for the team. It is a significant amount of work, so this is not. I want to be very clear. This is not something that's going to happen. It's not coming next season. Like this is a little further out. Once we have real information and it really hits a release vessel, we'll have a lot more to say. But I do know we get this question a lot, and I think we all agree that we would like to continue to see our playlist and matchmaking model evolve and try and get to something closer to where MCC has today, where players just have a lot more agency over what those experiences are. Is that fair to say? Sure.
Yeah, totally. I don't think I have more details in general to add, but like the goal ultimately is to let players play their way, right?
Awesome.
And so some sort of choice in terms of the matchmaking experiences that you want to or don't want to play is certainly in line with that.
Awesome, and yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. Yeah. But again, it's a bit out, and I guess now we're kind of getting all over the place, and maybe at the very end we'll just do a quick we'll just rapid fire try and jump on questions. But sure. This isn't playlist specific, but it is a question coming up a lot. Similar career progression. I think Sean Barron has touched on this in the past. We also know this is super important. The team has already. This is an active development. I will put this in that category, and we will have more to share on that pretty soon. So folks should stay tuned on that. But we hear you. We agree. We all want to get this back into the game. We know it's an important part of kind of what makes Halo more fun to keep playing. And just stay tuned. The team is actively working on that, and we'll have some more information in the not too distant future.
Very nice.
So, Michael, with that, we want to pivot back over. You left us off. You mentioned community maps coming into matchmaking.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got the community collection playlist. I think we've had
I am not
2 revs of that so far. We've seen maps debut there. Then we've seen some of those maps kind of start to permeate into our core playlists. Yeah. Maybe you want to set the framework there. Like, what's the vision behind that? How are you viewing community-made maps, the role they play, kind of where are we going?
I mean, they're critical to just adding variety to what you're playing day to day, right? And it's also like I like adding community maps to our playlist, I like, is also is kind of a North Star and an aspirational thing for Forgers. Like, I always want someone who's in Forge or maybe is thinking about Forge to go into a playlist, to know that this is a UGC, you know, it's a map made in Forge or even a mode made in Forge, and go, I would like to do that, right? I can do this, or I want to do this, right? To me, like, that's one of the key things of that, is showcasing what Forge can do, what the community can do, and also inspiring others to do the same, right? I love that loop. You know, and like, and to double down on the variety, like, it's just good to have variety in our experiences, right? So by adding these things to Fiesta and Tactical Slayer and the Community Collection, and then eventually potentially adding them to Quick Play and or Ranked, it's a win for everybody. And I look at the community matchmaking or the Community Collection as sort of the stepping stone. It's like, that's the place where maps go, and then they get to soak in the product. People get to play them. We get to see, you know, if maps are crashing, if players are liking them or not, all these things. And then if they're doing well, there's all the potential for them to go into Quick Play with maybe more iterations, maybe a little more QA, and then to go into Ranked, there's another flow for that as well.
Nice.
At that point, you'd be testing with the pro team and Toshi's crew to make sure that your map is competitive. But we already have one map in the works going to Ranked, so it's all possible.
Nice.
That's kind of rambling. Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah, I think it did. I don't know. What does chat say? Did that make sense?
Which one? I wonder.
Okay, I think so. I see some thumbs up. Sounds amazing. Awesome. Let's see. What else do we got here? Are you currently looking for anything in particular?
The one that's like inspired by
in terms of community maps.
I love that.
So
one.
you might have noticed last week that we added some new asset tags to the tag collection.
One of my favorite ones.
And some of those say 343 ask, I believe. And those are the first part of us asking for content. We don't have an official ask yet, but I would say the big potential for future asks are probably Husky Raid and BTB. This isn't concrete yet, but that's where I see the wins. That's the prevailing wins in that way.
Husky Raid is one of the greatest of all time.
I agree.
Murdy wants to know what Husky Raid is.
Husky Raid is it started as like an action Seki mode, I think in Halo 4, maybe a little bit before then. But it is a single tunnel, capture the flag, Fiesta random weapon spawns. And you just run and clash with each other and try and get the flag out of the other team's base. And you're just all fighting down a singular hallway. In Halo 5, we expanded that and had it changed from a single hallway to like a curved hallway, or
it was cool.
A couple different hallways, right? And changed it up a little bit, but very much Fiesta CTF down a very tight, small, like play space, and it's just a massive tug of war of destruction.
It's chaos.
Yeah, Rochambeau with a flag, as Chris said in chat. If you have played the custom game Rochambeau, pretty much just like that with the flag that you've got to get all the way back to your base.
Somebody said like Castle Wars, and the same general concept, right? Where it's like it's just a battle of attrition to get to the flag, but not really outside of that.
I need infinite Castle Wars in an official capacity. Please, Michael Shore. Please, John. You know he makes me driving that Warthog off the map constantly.
Yeah, that's true. Loud and clear. One of the interesting things that I think we might do with when we get to a Husky Raid ask is basically release a Husky Raid template. Right? Great. Husky Raids are generally like Uni said, they're just a hallway and they're a certain size. So we might just release a map template that's just a basic like hallway with at the appropriate size with the the flags in the right spaces with spawns, and then just let players go crazy. And I think it's by doing that, I think we'd be making the bar to entry for actually making Husky raid experiences pretty low, right? Like the functionality would be in the map. You just have to art it up and maybe change a little bit of geo.
Obviously, I'm change the color.
I'm hoping that's
I'm
one
just
of the
doing
things
black
we
and
can
gray
do
right
when
now
we
to
get
make
to
it
that ask.
unify the image
I
right
think
now.
that's actually how we got so many Husky raid maps in Halo 5.
Do I need glass
think
here? I don't think so.
There was a
The
Husky raid
railing is just gonna
competition, and they built a bunch of
just be there.
templates that
Yeah.
people just had to art up. I think that's
Yeah.
how it happened.
And then you had Unsorted Kim's donut one, which was super fun.
Oh yeah. There was a Halo control room
Yep.
Husky raid where it was very much that circle, right? We're in the Halo control room and flags were on either side. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's always fun variants on the hallway theme.
Yeah, this sounds awesome.
Let's see. We touched on content tagging system. If you missed it, Snickerdoodle did relink that blog here in the chat. And for folks that I do believe, sorry, not to dredge up pain points, but initially we did have an issue with those tags. My understanding is that has been resolved this week, so everything should be working as planned now. Correct?
Those are fixed.
Yes.
Awesome.
Serge Johnson.
Additionally, I think there's also some resources that you've helped put together as well, Michael, around kind of a checklist, like things that forgers can do to sort of help improve their chances of creating a matchmaking worthy map.
Yeah, Sam, did you just link
Let's
it?
see.
Or can't you
I
link it?
am more than happy to link it again. But yeah, it is here
Cool.
in the server, actually.
So not only in this server do we have that document, but also on the Halo support site, we have the Forge map checklist, and that's basically like those are all the things that if you do those things to your map and you follow those guidelines, you're really setting yourself up for success in terms of a map that has the potential to be in a playlist, right? So that's sort of the first way to either aim your map towards playlists or just make your map good in general. Right? If you don't have a goal to put your map in a playlist, these are still good guidelines to make
If anybody
an experience
watching wants to
that
hop
is
in here so they can get into
playable,
this chat,
that functions
you can.
correctly,
I'm
that
just
has
letting
good
you know.
spawns,
It's in the
etc.,
Discord,
etc.
the official Halo Discord. And you just got to go to.
Speaking of, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to continue.
Yeah, go for it.
And to kind of continue on how to get my map into quick play, right? I get that question a lot, and I think the Forge map checklist is definitely the first start. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of remakes, which are always a fun thing, right? I do want to say that one-to-one remakes are not necessarily always viable for a playlist.
Oh, absolutely.
At least a more arena-focused playlist that isn't a legacy type of playlist due to the differences in the sandbox, right? We've got
fully understood that. That's why I only made that as my
we've got
initial.
grapple
And
play. We've
I'm
got
waiting on
weapons
water
that
to
do
finish
different
it. To
things with
finish
different
my
ranges,
hydrostatic.
players that jump different, players that slides, etc., etc. So remakes are always great, but if you really want to, if you're aiming for that playlist slot in a regular playlist, definitely accounting for the infinite sandbox is a big deal, and that could be as simple as just scaling the map up and allowing for the new sandbox movements, making sure that you got grapple points, making sure that your clamber heights are consistent, things like that. If on that topic, if you see gaps in the Forge map playlist that you have questions about, please reach out. I always love to hear that stuff because I definitely feel like that's a living document, and then we should be always adding to it so folks have the most info they can have to make a good map.
Great points. Anything else on community maps to matchmaking? I did want to have a few minutes, Shore, just to kind of entice you into giving us a little bit of Forge insights on kind of what the team's working on beyond next week. But before anything else you want to close off on community maps to matchmaking, let me just see if we have any questions regarding that. I did see one asking, is there any chance there might ever be like a legacy throwback, like kind of UGC playlist added? Is that something you've ever thought about?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think there
how
was
can
like
you
a
not think
classic
about that?
Halo group that just put out some stuff recently. That looked really fun. Like things like that. Eventually, we will definitely want to get out into
Yeah,
a
there was a group
playlist.
that did that. They're doing a tournament.
So
or
I don't
have done a
have an
tournament? I don't know
ETA
if I
on when
missed it.
those types of experiences will make it to a playlist, but definitely not averse to adding that at all. I think that would be exciting.
Yeah, according to the chat, which I think you've already touched on, and we also acknowledged, a lot of interest
Did you hear that,
in
Green? Oh yeah. I
BTB
saw
Forge
that,
maps
Aaron.
in particular. I just think,
Green
I think
with
we
the
all just
eyes.
we love BTB, we want more BTB.
Yep.
Safe to say the investment from Forgers and from our team for BTB map is obviously a little bit more significant. So safe to assume everything it takes a little bit longer, I assume, for the scale of the BTB map. Is that safe to say?
Content
Definitely,
creator
both from the
AIs.
creation side, and I also just think from the testing side. You need 8 people to test an arena map. You need 24 to test a BTB map.
Wait,
So
what did
just
Unix
much
say?
more investment all up.
What are they
But
referring to?
also, could we, the combat workshop, kind of the experimental playlist that you mentioned earlier, could certainly, one of the goals there is just to reduce friction and help us get content
Change
from
up
sort of
the-
prototype iteration into players' hands
That's
faster,
fucking
which
useful
could
residual
end up
stuff.
helping people with BTB content like that as well, right?
Yep, totally.
Okay.
And in fact, that is a BTB experience that will be in the combat workshop.
I mean, Space Crab says we have a lot of BTB maps that are basically ready for matchmaking.
Alrighty.
It's that simple, right? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Can I ask a question around that? Like,
Go
I know,
for it.
like, you're not gonna. I know we're not gonna get like an exact answer, but from like, what is the rough timeline from like the start of a map to it getting into matchmaking? Like, how long does a map actually take?
What's this one's?
Because I'm sure other people have no idea either, and I'm sure it's longer than any of us expect.
So I can't really speak to creating a map and getting it to a point where it's, you're like, this is pretty much done, right? I see some of the forgers they're saying 2 to 3 months. I always estimate at least 4 months for someone from the community to make something. And then once those, so in terms of ingesting a map
These maps
into
are-
Halo
yeah,
Infinite,
huge.
that takes about 2 months. And that's a lot of that is really like it's finding the map, right? From the point that we find the map, it's about 2 months, and we reach out to the author or
that's
the
a good
group
height.
that has made this map.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
We play test it internally.
Somehow,
We give them feedback
like pure luck,
on
it's pretty
suggested
flawless.
changes and needed fixes, and then we send it back to them, and then they,
don't
on their
like
own time,
matchmaking any
do the
percent.
fixes, and then they send it back when those fixes are complete, and then we play test, and we do that loop a couple of times until all the things that needed to be fixed are fixed, and then internally we run that through QA to make sure that we're not missing anything critical. We also go through we need to make sure that the names and the descriptions are appropriate, and we do a little bit of that loop. And then we just schedule a time to put it into a playlist. And that generally takes around 2 months. So all up, I would say if I asked you for a BTB or an arena map tomorrow, the earliest it could probably make it into the Halo Infinite, would be 6 months from tomorrow.
So basically, super easy. Got it.
Barely an
Totally
inconvenience.
easy.
That's so much work.
Okay. I like to shift back to Forge then, if we can. Sure. Since you are the Forge Lord, you see my question there at the dock. Like, kind of what's next for Forge? What are you and the team really working on right now? Like, what can we look forward to that you're able to talk about?
So most of these things I've pretty much gone on record already, so it won't be news to everybody. But for season 4, we've got the minigame mode and some generic objects that are shipping. That's super exciting. So if using Slayer or CTF or Strongholds isn't what you want to make as a mode variant within Forge, we'll now introduce the minigame mode, which is basically just a
that's-
blank Slayer variant,
Speak
right? And then
on
you can just
AI, please.
change the
What do you mean
mode
by
to
AI?
your liking. So that's pretty exciting. We're going to have
Sure, good, unfortunately.
generic ball, generic skull object, so you can use those types of objects in your modes. So that's pretty good. We have a whole host of budget improvements. I'll be the first to admit that our budget from Forge launch to now has been a little obtuse. I guess that's probably the best word. And we have new budgets that are coming online, and new names and new descriptions that are going to hopefully help forgers understand the state of their map in terms of budget.
Wasn't sure
and
what he
also
meant, but
manage
I think
it.
he means.
So
I think he means
excited about
campaign AI.
things like animation states,
Also House
physics
Plaza.
budgets, collision budgets, node graph budgets. Those are all new elements that are be coming online for season 4. And the water plane object is coming. A lot of you folks have asked for water, and we have a scalable water
Oh my
plane
gosh, I
coming
can't
in
wait.
season
Yes.
4.
Water.
Should I go on?
I guess I'm just kind of checking the chat. Go ahead, you check.
I'm gonna jump in and talk about scalable water plane. It's like the coolest thing I have done in Infinite Forge. I told you, Michael. But,
Yeah, no, that was a great message.
Dub is for
Yeah,
water.
when I was testing it out myself, there was I was fiddling. There was a hole on a map. I was like, you know what would be great if I could fill this hole and just make it look like water was there, right? And it was just a pond. And I just
No,
took
we
the
need
water
dedicated
plane
water canvas.
and I scaled it up from this
Yes,
little
we do.
tile,
Yes.
and it just completely immediately filled this hole, and it felt like you were truly making a map. It almost felt like you were a god, you're just like, let there be water, and it completely changed the map. It was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's really powerful. And right now, forgers are using the Myers canvas to, if they want water, because the terrain of that canvas does feature water. So now you should be able to put water kind of wherever you want.
Somebody asked if it's a new vehicle.
That would be amazing, but no.
It is not a biplane.
I'll just go on because these are cool.
Yeah, go on.
We have some updates to the VFX system. So for season 4, players are going to be able to scale their VFX objects.
Nice.
And in addition,
I
you'll be
should have
able
checked
to
this
toggle
better.
damage
I think
and
I'm not going
audio
to use
from
this
the
frame.
VFX on or
I'm gonna
off.
make my own frame.
And then in terms of art, I think the biggest
Kinda a
add
little
to
tired of
that
using
is
the
that
pre-built frames for the map. In
we
fact,
finished
I
the
was thinking
Forerunner
this.
object palette.
And
So
I'm glad it's right here.
the rest of the Forerunner object palette is going to go live in season 4.
Nice.
So those are the big ads for Forge. I know we're running out on time here. I do want to. I'll address the AI in Forge. We are still working on that. It is awesome. I don't have a release date for you, but
that's
it is
unfortunate.
coming. And
hopefully-
it's everybody's as awesome as you think it's going to be.
Ooh.
I liked whoever called it More Runner. That was pretty clever.
All right, taking a look at the chat here. I think I'm looking over at your reference doc. I think you've covered on the things that we came into this chat wanting to make sure that we touched on. We don't have much time left here. I'm seeing a lot of questions about.
I can adjust that. That's cool.
Let's
I like
see.
the idea of
Wait,
these
what
glass-
now?
this glass
Vote
being
for
made.
Nick's future. John is Unishack is trying to ban Uber Nick from the server. John, come on. We're having serious conversations about Forge AI here. All right, the chat is undeniably bringing up a single topic that. Sure, Unishack. Also, I want to point out, John, we have a whole other internal chat that we've all been on except for you the entirety of this call that you seem to not have open. So I just want to let you know you're missing out. So, yeah, it's John's fault that we can't answer this question right now.
Pizza. I see lots of questions about pizza. I'm here for that.
Maybe I'll have pizza for lunch.
Pizza sounds really good.
does,
That
doesn't
sounds
it?
really
You
good.
go down to Flat Stick.
Okay,
Pizza
yeah, I
canvas
guess
confirmed.
we don't have a Plaza update at the moment.
This is still
I guess
season
we can just
3.
say that. I see people asking about it, so we do not have an update on that yet. I think we did. It was teased by Sean, I believe, right, John, on a stream, and then I think you tweeted about it a while back, but we don't have an update on that yet.
That was me and Michael Shore.
Oh, you and Shore. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'd love
in
to
the
see
holiday
this. I just
live
want
stream.
to see.
Okay.
Repeat and key. He's listening to.
As soon as we have an update, we will share it. Okay, 4 minutes. I don't know. Closing thoughts, closing remarks. You want to cherry pick anything from chat there, Shore? Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I mean, I think I kind of said everything that I wanted to say. Honestly, this has been
Okay.
really fantastic to have this kind of chat and just sort of do it's like a stream light, without
Yeah.
the video. It's been really great.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everyone that joined us here and took the time and kind of bared with us. This is our first time trying this out. I think this is a pretty fun platform. It's a lot more nimble and personable, I think, than random tweets. And for folks that maybe missed this and have been asking, Sam is recording this, so we will get this posted somewhere. So folks that missed out live or joined late can catch back up if they want to. And I don't know. I would consider this as a success, and I would like to do
agree.
this. I'd like to
This
do
is
more of
definitely
these. I think
success.
we had some
Big
great
dub.
questions come up that were out of
In
scope
my
for
opinion.
for us today. But I'd like to bring back more folks. We've had requests for Tashi. I definitely know there's a lot of things we could get Sean Barron in here and talk about. So seems like the chat's here for it. Everybody's had a good time as well, and I would like to make this a more regular occurrence. I am seeing a request to close us out with a pun, Unishek. Do you have? I know it's not Tuesday. Do you have anything at the
Do you
ready?
have anything ready?
Let me get
Ooh.
ready.
Let's put
Well,
it.
he's
while
just
he's
has one in
getting
his
ready.
pocket.
I did see a comment way earlier that I wanted to echo. Someone had suggested that someone in the community make an Uber Nick shaped
Ooh.
map, and I
Ooh.
think that's a pretty good
My
idea.
game just.
What does that
really
mean, though? It's
had a
like the
problem.
map
Let's
top
close
down
this
looks
and
like
come back.
Ubernick's face.
I think
Looks
it's.
like the
I don't
Ubernick
know.
Cortana.
I mean, that's
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That would be
Jeez.
that would be the forgers. You just take an interpretation
Ubernick
of
Cortana.
Ubernick and
Clouds
go from
and
there.
Forge. Oh, yeah,
Please don't tell me
clouds.
that's like the first content loadout for your combat like testing grounds playlist. Please.
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
I think we
We
get
gotta
a lot of
workshop
certain
it.
Weapon clip choices, less timers that.
the Nick
without setting
Cortana map, I
norm,
think we
like
get a lot of
having two
complaints and
power-ups in the
reports
same
to
spot,
safety,
but
and
on
I feel like
different
there'd be
timers
some
so they
strikes
don't spawn
issued.
together.
So
Yeah, yeah.
that sounds too disturbing. But again, John, sorry, was that a yay or a nay? You got any? You want to close us out with a pun, or you're not prepared?
For a distant future, Terrible Joke Tuesday, the British call it a lift, Americans call it an elevator, because they were raised differently.
Yes, very nice.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Come
That-
on.
I am a lover of
I think the
puns,
chat
so this is great.
they've
I've heard that
spoken.
one before.
That-
Chat is doing.
You've given the people what they've asked for,
Oh, that's great.
I'm glad we got some fans in the chat.
Yeah.
and you.
Even
there
if
you
y'all
go.
aren't fans, I'm glad we got fans in the chat.
All right. Well, Shore, thank you so much
Fire.
for taking
My
some time
pleasure.
out of your day to
Fire.
join us. That was
Thanks
super.
for
This
it.
has been awesome. Sam, thank you for setting this all up. Unishak, thanks for the puns and the bathroom live broadcast. It's a very unique experience for us all. Reminder, head to the Waypoint. Unishek just dropped a blog at the start of this that has all the details on next week's update that's coming on Wednesday. And then, guys, I can't believe it. We're really not that far away from the launch of Season 4. I'm starting to
Yeah.
feel it around the studio. We're getting
It's
ready
like
to
a month.
dusting off the marketing machine. So stay
Roughly.
tuned. There's going to be some more stuff to come as we start looking forward to Season 4. And I think that's it. I got nothing else.
All right. Well,
I
thanks
got
for having me. It was
Yeah.
super fun.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sam,
I hope
come on.
my map
We will
loads.
be back. We will do this
Boy,
again. We
howdy, it's
appreciate
been
your
weird.
support. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Cheers,
See you guys
everybody.
later. Let's see. All right, that was cool. Chat. Let's see. Sam ended chatting with Forge Lord. Nice. I wonder if anyone's gonna stay in the chat here until just hanging out. Very nice. I'm excited. I hope they do this more. This is some cringe nerd shit. I wish they just randomly made a super offensive joke. Right? That would have been hilarious. If like if if Unisheck had just come out and said something not like really bordering on offensive, but not actually offensive, would have been hilarious. But yeah, no, I think it's good that he didn't, though. I don't want to see Unisheck getting fired. Okay, so what I was about to do is deleting this. Oh, I didn't save any of that stuff up there. But okay, cool. We're good. Forge disable option for published maps. Full copy protection. Nobody should be able to glitch into other people's publications. Bro. Yeah. But yeah, still live. They are. Yeah, I'm still live. Yep. And they just finished their thing. I was actually streaming it, so that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see, where it goes. Hey, by the way, here's how it's coming out. I kind of went a little crazy here. Added a platform here that won't really be all that important for the 4v4. And right now it's even still got the soft kill zone affecting you as soon as you come out onto it. It's kind of like a helipad, landing pad, and I was thinking with the big team battle we could do a launcher out onto it. Primarily, it's going to be a way of getting a weird angle, a visual angle, so it's actually going to make it harder to do the 4v4 a little bit, to art it. But what do you think? What do you think about it? I haven't colored anything or anything like that, and I was about to make this wider to fill this gap, but then the game crashed. So, yeah, what do you think, Ripshade, about all of these adjustments? I don't remember what value I got this to, but it was roughly correct, so... Oh, I can turn off that thing. That's up on the top of the screen there. Let's do that. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to make that thing better. I'm going to figure out how to break out the chat if I can and make it its own thing. Half the screen is covered by the other chat. Yeah, I know. I want to try and break that out and be able to put it off on the side of my screen if that's possible, so that if they ever do this again, I can just have, you can't see their faces anyway. I don't need the rest of Discord. I just need that column of chat. But I don't know how to do that yet, so I'll have to figure it out. It'll probably be something that I'll have to do involving scaling the other screen or something. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But basically, because if they're going to do this again, I want to be able to, stream all of these. That'd be great. But yeah, I think it looks very cool. I like the added space there. Do you like... let me actually... Hold on. Do you like it better being less open, I think you said, but I had the thing on OBS. It has a little heart there as an emoji you can place, and it was in the way of your text. Do you like it better being less open? But I like it. I actually really liked it being open, but the more and more I just couldn't justify full-blown open with the art with the way that I arted it to where we ended up with internal areas versus external areas. I needed an airlock here to make it make sense, but I could theoretically do that if you want me to. I just kind of, since you weren't here to run the by you as I was going, I just kind of decided to go ham with it, let you see how it looked after it's done with what I was thinking. What I was thinking, by the way, is that this would be, let me pull this back up. So if you don't like it, I can potentially, I can try and walk it back and stuff like that. I knew I was potentially going to have to walk it back. This is what I'm saying, and I did that kind of on purpose. Where is it? To let you come in and find out what you think. So if object, if we flip this upside down, I think I had it right side up, but I'm going to do it upside down actually. Scale this in. I was going to do a door frame on the top with this. It crashed, so I lost it, but basically I had something like this, and I was going to start to block it out with that. But actually, now that I've got it flipped over, I didn't have it flipped over the first time. Now I'm looking at it flipped over, I'm like, yes, actually I like that. Let's do that instead of the other way, but let's figure out a way to make it match into this column. More like this, maybe? But anyway, so I was doing a door frame, and I wanted to fix this part, and I wanted to see what you thought about it. The main area, if I walk it back and I do the, when I make it more open, I was thinking I could theoretically make, for example, look, I could just do, we've got the full wraparound section here. We don't necessarily need it here. I could do this and make it immediately more open. Let's see. Oh, no, yeah, you were saying that. It would immediately open it up, and I think this is enough to make it as open as it was before. Get all of the openness it had before, but then just a little bit different, you know what I mean? And then we could just run something along here to make it look like a detailed you know, to detail out the top of this. I kind of like something a strip like this, akin to this, just running along right there. And this might be the way to go. So you let me know if this looks better to you. If this looks good, or if this is what you're thinking looks good too. Because I wanna run that by you. But yeah. I guess I'll undo that just until you reply, because I don't want to have to rebuild it later. So if you're saying you like it like this, then you know I want to rebuild that. But yeah, I like it more open, honestly. Yeah, I do too. I like it like this. This would be still closed, but I don't think that that's a problem too much. I think I like it like kind of like this. What do you think? Oh, by the way, I was thinking that, you know, power slide here, getting a height advantage on your enemy would be kind of cool. If there's a door there, it would make more sense of it be open too. Yeah. So I was thinking about putting a big old like airlock door right here, effectively. And the idea that I was hoping for was something where you could do something to this effect, or if not that, then at least power slide. There might be a wall here because the airlock door might be a little weird, but I'll figure that out with that, because of the way it dips in. It would be weird to put a door that goes up and down, you know, and fills that or anything like that. So I will have to figure that out. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to figure that shape out, but I like so much the block out of this, of adding this here, that I don't know about, you know what I mean? I don't know if you're looking at that and liking that, the way that slide looks whenever you use it. But yeah. Okay, let me line these up then. I guess I could have just moved it instead of deleting it, and that way we could have undone it very easily, but yeah. I do like that the way that it was doing that. I just think it looks better over here. Maybe more concrete on the wall side too. Just give the 2 rows of windows then concrete. But I'm liking it a lot. Yeah. Wait, 2 rows of windows like these, or 2 rows of windows and then a concrete wall instead of this. Is that what you're talking about? Like that row, and then this be concrete. I really like the idea of the wraparound. But if you're thinking that we need to do, yeah, if you're thinking we do more concrete there, that's fine too. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Let's see, and this is the barracks building at this point. So honestly, we could even do a door right here that's closed. You know, not the whole thing being concrete, just some. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just trying to fix this gap right now, and then I can figure out the let's see, we got delete. Oh, actually, I am gonna delete all this. Whoops. That was a really cool way of doing it. I loved the way they did that in Discord. That was really straightforward. It was very open to discussion, which I loved. And yeah, I want more of that. That was great. There we go. This should work. And then I just snap that to, oh, nope, I had it right, and then that to there, and then I can select all of it, including the glass panels, and slide them all over, and it should line up perfectly over here. Oh, my music is off. Right, I turned that off so we could hear people talking. There we go. Gosh, Halo Wars, so good. Not the whole thing being concrete, just some. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Get rid of the snapping. Oh, what? Oh, jeez. I lost all my selection. Okay, just hold it down and select everything. If I do some concrete here, like frame it out in some concrete. Obviously, I need to frame out a little bit of concrete there, I think. And then maybe a little thin one over here. Maybe that's what we do. Ah, I did not get the snapping correct on these. Somehow, Palpatine returned. Sorry, somehow I got that wrong. There we go. So that's what I was thinking there. But if we do concrete, Let's see. I don't know, do you like the full wraparound? I was thinking on the wraparound side, just maybe concrete somewhere, break up the window a bit, or change the middle row to larger windows. Like this part here, make these bigger windows. So what I ran into, by the way, let me just explain real quick. And the concrete might solve that. So that's why I'm gonna bring it up. So what I'm running into is that this is different on this side than it is on that side. So if I decide to make it just really wide windows that are unobstructed, we end up with this giant gray strip and then a black strip. So they end up not matching. But actually, the materials here and here match up. So we could theoretically put concrete here and then the octagonal sort of side over here, something to break up the repetitive windows of that makes sense. Yeah. So like this, for example, would make it a wide window instead of the double thin. So like this is something someone might stand on, so maybe they want a structural, beam in the middle. You know what I mean? Something to break up those something windows, if that makes sense. Oh, if that makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, so, okay. Gotcha. So I was thinking concrete coming up here would solve our problem of the black, and then the silver, and then concrete coming down here would also solve that. So theoretically, I could do wider windows instead of the little thin ones, like the thinner ones. What do you think? Or we could even do, objects. And then the problem here, the reason I didn't do really big tall windows like this is that it kind of becomes like that. I think we'd want to do wide, but we could do one big window in the middle instead of that and make it to where it's like just a skylight window. You wouldn't be able to see through it, basically. Although technically, even if we did this, we could do more like this, where it's farther back, which would actually lower it down as well, and then you could see out of it a little bit. So we've got a couple of different options there. I was just struggling with this component to make it look good, which looked great over here. Like I loved the way that this came out over here. But then this one was a little bit iffy. This one can also, by the way, whoops, I'm jumping around everywhere. This one can also be adjusted to be a different frame as well to change it up a little bit. I was thinking about that earlier, is that if we go to structures and we go to walls, and we go to the windows, I went with this one, which has a really thin bottom. But if we went to this one, right, larger looks cool for sure. I don't know. Right? Yeah, so it's kind of hard to say. If we went with this one and we scaled it up to that distance, there'd be a much larger area of solid walkway before you get to the glass section. Which I don't know if that's better or worse. I don't think that's necessarily better. I'm just saying that basically we could use this one in some places to get an effect like this. Or maybe the other way around, where it's thin over here. In fact, this is the angle of the other one. Thin over here and thicker on the outside. It might be cool to have that extra lip there. You know what I mean? We just snap it there and then scale it this way. Whoop, this way to there. What do you think about that? I think maybe that looks better than this, because that kind of looks weak. You know what I mean? Whereas this looks strong. You know what I mean? I don't know. Structurally, I mean. Don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean. I'm sure, right? Larger looks cool for sure. I wish we could color glass. I know, right? I wish I could make it gold like frickin', space stations would have. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this to get the exact scale, even though I didn't really make it precise in the first place, but I am gonna grab the exact scale for now. And then the other one is this wide one. And I don't think I adjusted the thickness at all. They're both the same. There we go. And then I'm just going to re-snap it to the correct spot and delete that one. And this should just be a matter of scaling it down to... Oh, is it scaling on the wrong side? What's going on here? There we go. No? I thought it had adjusted the Z fighting. There we go. Now we got it. What do you think about that? I think that looks a little bit better. So basically using a different panel here. A different window there. From these actually helps, call it out a little bit. I think I've got this wrong. Is this centered right? Doesn't feel like it's centered right because of the way it's centered between those two columns. Looks cool. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks very cool. I think this is working out. Where's the central snapping point on this ramp? I thought there was one, and I thought I was snapping it to it, but I think I'm not. I'm not sure what's going on. And I feel like it needs to be moved over to be centered here, or a little bit better. I'd have to grab these, of course, with that. But yeah, that stream is done, so that chat is done, so I'm probably gonna have to get off soon. Let's see. I love that spot because now we can add weapons there. Yeah, I know, right? And what I was thinking was in big team battle, it could be a receiver for a man cannon, choom, to land there. And like, if we do that and the weapon is too powerful or whatever, we can't have the man cannon landing directly on top of the weapon. We can just make the weapon disappear during the big team battle version. So it'd be just as easy. We had a sort of a special thing going on today, so I had to, let's see, had to do that and stream for longer, but I think I've got to get off soon, is what I was saying a second ago. I like that a lot, and what I was thinking was the way it kind of is open on this side, the reason I didn't put railing there, so I was thinking about putting a door into the Oni building right there, to make it like both, to where it has like access to this landing pad. Especially because these columns feel very Oni, and they feel like they're part of the building there because of the way it's set up. But, yeah. Yeah, it's a great idea. Okay, cool, yeah. Oh, for the man cannon probably is what you're actually talking about, but yeah, the door thing is also, yeah. Okay, so I think if I bring this over and center it, does that gets rid of those lights. I kind of like the lights for the Oni side, or I did, but I don't know if I like them too much anymore because they're kind of weird. But anyway, I kind of liked the lights, but I mostly just wanted the structure. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is what I'm thinking. I'll try to do. You were saying the larger window looks cooler. I'm gonna try this one real quick. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to break that out and then duplicate this. Let me try this one to see if it's a better window for this, because it has the gray. No, I didn't want to adjust the thickness. What is it? 2.05, I think it is. It's what I've been using. The default 2.05. There we go. Okay, and then we'll bring this down. And then we go in here. This is probably the biggest deviation from your block out I've ever done this entire time. So that's why I'm like a little bit like, okay, so let me know if you like this, because this is the biggest, like the largest deviation I think I've ever done. Like adding the upper areas I think is less of a deviation. The upper, like, you know, upstairs to the barracks areas is less of a deviation than this, I think. Yeah, maybe you could put walkways that are fenced off and like very secure looking. It's a great addition though. Oh, well, thank you. So that would be one single large window, and I could theoretically put a large wide window there and a large wide window there, and put concrete going down that, and I need it here too because there's a bit of a gap between that column and there, so I need some concrete on this side, but I could lean into this kind of black rim along that for the Oni part. It's a great addition though for the Oni part. Yeah, for like the door going in there. I think that'll be cool. And that'll also, yeah, I like that a lot better. Nice. So yeah, this is gonna be really cool. Yeah, I like it a lot better too. It's got the, you know, the small, medium, large, or whatever, your threes, you know, you gotta work in threes. I kinda like this because we've got small, we've got medium, and now we've got large. So like it actually complements each other very nicely. And I'm liking that a lot, you know, or whatever the mentality is. I forget exactly what it is, but it's an art thing. Breaks up the monotonous pieces. Exactly. I also was thinking about using this really wide as the roof panel here. Just now. I know there's a... come on, world movement. There we go. Something like that. It didn't have to be. But I liked the idea of that. And the underside looks pretty cool, because it's got all this like tech on it. And we might do a slope thing there, or we might do it flat. If we do it flat, then we'd probably bring the roof down from above. Like, copy that down. Whoop, why did it come all the way over here? Basically, copy that down and put it into there, or something like that. And do something like that. Obviously, we got to bring it all the way down to the window, actually. But yeah, something like that might be cool. See, the blocky roofs and stuff, all in that area could use more depth too. Oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. Instead of looking so flat. I mean, it doesn't look like a barracks, it looks like a giant concrete cube. Like, it looks like they just poured a concrete cube. So, like, yeah, no, I definitely agree. I didn't get to art any of that before the the today deadline I thought we were gonna have. So, but yeah, and it won't be a block, it'll probably be a slope going back, like at this angle. Going back into the stuff and then going down, you know? Glad you agree. Yeah, exactly. No, I was doing that and rushing to make it just a giant cube and trying to make it look clean at least before the today deadline I thought we were going to have. But now that the deadline is a month from now, we have plenty of time to make it look like an actual barracks and look all arted out and decked out with like cool paneling and stuff like that. Honestly, just this paneling alone on the outside, you know, of one of these cubes, just slapped on here as like the wall, you know what I mean? And like colored green like the UNSC or something would be a cool wall for stuff. You know what I mean? It's got some supports, it's got some pipes running through it, and it's got like these, you know, I don't know, these are getting stretched out kind of weird. You probably would flip it over or something and hide those pipes inside of something else, because these pipes look okay stretched from down here, at least. They look like railing almost. But yeah, the other one, I guess the other ones look like railing. Now that I think about it. They look like really low railing, but they kind of look like railing. Yeah, the whole area looks so much cooler now. IMO. Yeah, they like this whole, like, this area here. Yeah, I think it definitely looks cooler than just blockiness. Like, if we had changed the railing and kept with this shape, but, like, redone it with, like, rails and stuff, we could have, this shape was really cool. It's just that, to make it work with the interior-exterior thing, I had to do this as also. Yeah, it makes it more sense. Anyway, okay, I gotta get going. I've been, you know, moving around since I said I had to go for way too much talking about stuff, and it's way late today. It's already, yeah, and I've got my kids have to do some more schoolwork, so yeah, this is the last day of, is it Friday? I think it's the last day of school today. Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, today's the last day of school, and I think they may have the weekend to catch them on stuff if they get late, but yeah. Well, thank you. Anyway, yeah,